And we are live. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, Mega City, tonight on the Brockton Bay Book Club. People are blowing up, letters are being spelled out, and creepy crawlies galore. Some gore and more. On this episode of the Brockton Bay Book Club, I am your host, Alan, joined by Hannah,
Hello.
Jacob,
Yellow.
Michael,
Hello.
and Nick, who is currently away, but will return shortly.
Hello there.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
apologize.
yeah,
Fine.
yeah, that's it.
Do
That's
our
good.
quick, do our best Nick impressions. Jacob, go.
No, teacher secretly is cool.
Hannah,
and that's why Empire 88 is the best here, best team in the whole
Oh,
series.
God.
There it is.
Michael, do you have one?
Oh, no. Just the hello there. He always does the hello there.
Yeah. I was gonna go
Oh.
with the It's not, guys. I don't. It's not that I like him. It's just that I really enjoy his metal bending powers.
Of course.
Exactly.
The fact
Nick,
that
you
he
didn't
happens to be hot
hear any of
is
that, did you?
completely beside the point. Oh, Nick, you're
You know,
here.
I'm back. Hello. Oh my goodness. I don't have my headphones plugged in to my microphone. I must be wearing my wireless earbud this evening, and
That's crazy.
Oh, how
Man.
convenient.
so I got to hear everything.
Wow,
Oh,
that's it was Alan. It was all Alan. It was all Alan's idea. Alan's the host. Everything's on Alan. Alan.
See, what you couldn't see, Nick, is that it's what the fans requested, but then Michael deleted it
Yeah, right.
actually in chat. So because
Yeah,
you didn't have your
actually,
wireless Google lenses on, you couldn't see
Yeah.
the YouTube
Yeah, you
chat
couldn't.
and the side.
Yeah. They were asking for it, so they got it.
Nick, do you
hey,
have an impression of yourself?
well, you took my hello there, which has become my thing.
Ah, I nailed it.
That was
Let's
good.
go.
That was good.
So that was
Hello
good. All I gotta say is once again, his teacher and his Dr. Robotnik looking ass is because that's all I think he looks like. So that's my visual image of him. But he's also he's the guy from Breaking Bad. You know, the other scientist who.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Also, if y'all hear clickety clacketing in the background, it's because Bird is losing her ever loving mind with the clicky clacky toys. She's like
I do
batting
hear
around
that.
the balls, go around in circle. So she's just
Classic Bird.
noodling
Classic
right
Bird.
now.
Thank you, Fran. I'm glad to be back from the shard dimension. Bloodier
Yes.
than ever.
Yes.
All right. With all of that out of the way, welcome to the Brockton Bay Book Club as we read through J.C. McCrae, aka Wildbow's parahuman story, Ward. I can't imagine this is your first time here, but if it is, we are just a book club going chapter by chapter, arc by arc through this. Tonight's arcs, the back half of arc 15, I believe this is 15.6 to the end. So, let's just do some initial thoughts for the back half of the teacher compound raid. Nick,
Mm.
what are your thoughts?
Well, one moment, I have to find something. So, I was thinking through what all the titles of the arc, of course, have to go with light, and this is called dying, and so my assumption is that it is a reference to the poem by Dylan Thomas, "Do not go gentle into that good night." Old age should burn and rave at close of day, rage, rage against the dying of the light. And this was a heavy hitter in terms of the emotional damage, but also a heavy hitter for me in terms of interest and writing. There are a couple of fight scenes where again, the geography of where they are happening and what exactly is happening can be a bit tricky. However, there's a lot that happens. I really like what happened, even if it also makes me upset at the same time. And yeah, I'm into. This is like Leviathan in the like, oh, this is the moment I'm into it. Like I feel like this is where I'm like, okay, I'm in this now. Like I need to finish this and see what happens. So,
All right, Hannah.
I have to disagree. I liked our Victoria chapters. I had a really hard time engaging with the interlude chapters. You guys know I'm a crier. I'm a big crier. I didn't cry once, didn't even feel a tingle of a tear. I feel like the emotional impact was lost a lot, and honestly, because each interlude even jumps between people, it was hard for me to feel like I could engage in the story. I also did kind of speed read this. A really weird day today, so I had to kind of speed read it near the end of the day, but I don't think that even if I had taken my time reading it, it would have hit. Honestly, it was kind of a disappointing back couple of chapters for me. I liked the first half of this arc a lot better. But yeah, I mean, it was
We'll
it was
get
fine.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I do have the
Jacob?
advantage of having read and listened to it twice, actually. So,
Oh,
that's
twice?
yeah. I read it early last week and then just was listening to it periodically throughout this
Nice.
week too. So,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
I think
Jacob.
I'm kind of firmly in the middle of you two, I think, this week. It's funny you mentioned Leviathan. To me, this was immediate. I was just drawing comparisons to the Behemoth fight in Worm, both in placement-ish of the story and then in similar scope and emotional impact. Kind of felt kind of similar.
That's true.
But I do put it far beneath that fight for me. It just
True.
it just didn't have he's done this a few times in Ward, and I don't know quite his reasoning. It's really it's an interesting choice, but he being Wadbo, obviously, puts a lot of big moments in the eyes of interlude characters, which is odd to me. I think especially some of the stuff towards the end, which we'll get into, being through the eyes of characters who don't have an emotional attachment to what's happening, is an interesting choice, given that the story is primarily first person POV from a single character. So I think some of that dilutes the impact of some of those moments. That being said, I did really like a lot of the fight scene here. Really great climactic battles, really fun combat. We've been building up to this fight for a while. Yeah, it's great to be kind of back into the cauldron, alleys and things like that is kind of fun, and lots of different powers and combatants and stuff like that. I think it's crazy that we built up to this moment for so long, and this entire time, like, we've all kind of shared that, like, the teacher as a big threat just we haven't had the weight of that. And yet here we go. We get the big climactic fight. We get all of everything that comes to fruition, and then he just kind of gets away at the end. It was really unsatisfying at the very end.
Yeah.
Um,
That is true. I guess, to comment on that. When I say it reminds me of Leviathan, not in the sense of like it was as good for me, but more just in the sense of, okay, this grabbed my attention and I'm curious to see how the story resolves.
Oh, I was very very glued to every page, kind of as I was reading it. Yeah, which we talked. I think that's one of his strengths. Kind of just writing action and combat is very very gripping. The jumping around, the powers, all that kind of stuff. Certain people meeting their ends finally. Well, very satisfied. As much as I wasn't totally satisfied, there were some really satisfying moments, which we'll get to. So
Yes.
yeah,
Cool.
up and down. I'm excited to hopefully move past teacher now and
Oh, one can only
where we-
hope.
see where we go from here. Yeah, for the back fourth of the story.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think I have no scope of where we are in this book. Like when you're reading a physical book, you can be like, "Oh yeah, I can see where I am in this book."
Yeah.
But with this, I'm like, I have no frame of reference for where we are. I
Yeah.
don't know. The index means
Yeah.
nothing to me now.
yeah. Fair enough.
Yep.
I'm a hard disagree on all the combat. I had to go back and look at the chapters again just to make sure while you were talking about them because it sounded exciting from what you said, and no, they were boring as hell. The best thing that came out of this was Contessa fighting off the custodian, and maybe Swan Song like dragging herself around by her bloody shotgun stump, but like it's just so boring.
Here's
Um,
here's for me, I think there for whatever reason, a lot of this was really easy for me to visualize, or like I could put it in the framework of
Mm.
something else I understood, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
the Swan Song fight with Spawner was super cool. The Contessa stuff was super cool. Yeah, so that at least for me, I was able to put some of that somehow mentally into context, and I thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, even though I could picture this, which like we've described is hard to do with Wild Bow. He's not great geographically with how his fights and writing happens sometimes. Like it didn't matter in this case. I think I have a pretty good idea of how Contessa was in the hallway and how Swansong was up on the balcony and then fell down and then there's like a tunnel down there and like I it just it's the end of the chapter, it's the end of this fight, and it comes to such on almost every level an anticlimactic conclusion.
Hmm.
And I mean, and I think to one point that Hannah pointed out, which is like we don't spend enough time in any of the interludes to care about any of these people. So like I kind of like Anjanu's point of view. It's a little bit fun. We're just not there long enough. Spawner, a little bit interesting
Oh my
for a
gosh,
second,
I could
but we're
not
not.
give two shits about Spawner.
But we're just
Not a single.
yeah, and we're just like there's no
Yeah.
reason to either. Like we meet him, he dies. That's the
Yeah.
entire like
Yeah.
exposure to him. Like he does have some cool moments so like in terms of as a character that you interact with for a second, but like as a character that you're getting the perspective of, I don't care. And that's probably because it's not on arc from his perspective. We don't get enough time learning about
Yeah.
him or an origin or a flashback or something.
That fight definitely could have been from Swan Song's perspective, and I think
I
that
would
would
have
have
loved
been
it if it
better.
had been from Swan Song's perspective.
Yeah,
Because
I think
I
visually the fight would work well. Like worked well in my
think
mind
so too.
visually. It's a great like anime Last Stand 1v1 battle. But yeah, in terms of the emotional impact of the fight, I definitely think
Oh yeah.
her perspective would have been a lot better. I can agree with that.
I was gonna say I have a lot of thoughts about that, so we'll get into
Yeah.
it when we get to there.
Yeah, but yeah, overall anticlimactic. I was hoping new stuff to come back. There's a lot of things that I'm told that I'm like, that sounds super cool, but there's not a lot of super cool stuff that actually happens. So, like there's interesting things that happen, stuff that you could even say was cool, but none of it's like great. None of it's Behemoth or Leviathan or almost any of the fights from Worm. I'm trying to think of a Worm fight that was worse than this, and I can't think of one. So let's get into this. Nick.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one now, and the only thing that remotely comes to mind is not the actual fight, but the audiobook experience of trying to listen to the Bakuda fight was pretty rough. Rain tried really hard to give Bakuda a cool voice over effect, and
Oh, that's right.
Sorry,
I forgot about
it
that.
didn't hit. It didn't hit. It was not.
We
It was.
learn. We move on.
It was like, do you
Yeah.
guys? This is totally unrelated, but you guys remember the original trailer for The Dark Knight Rises, where nobody could understand a word Bane said?
Yes.
It was just
Yeah,
like,
right.
The best. Just someone
Exactly.
speaking into a
Oh,
mug.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's just like you're trying to order fries at Wendy's.
Just sound like
Yeah.
a
And you're like, I don't. Yes,
If
I
anybody
would like fries.
remembers
Uh-huh.
some good old Homestar Runner, sever your leg, please, sir. It's the greatest day. Did you just ask me to
Yeah.
sever my leg?
We are
Exactly.
aging ourselves, but that was a great reference.
A little bit.
All right. Arc 15 Dying Part 2, starting with 15.6. The group stops to recuperate and intuit the warden's battle strategy against Teacher. Kinsey gives the group a look at other battles in the compound. Custodian attacks, and Contessa is found. So this is what I read. I don't know if anybody remembers, but 2 weeks ago when we met, and I was like, "Oh, there's
Yeah.
something big that happened we didn't talk about," and it's because I read this one ahead by accident, and I was like, "Oh,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was
That'll
like,
do
"Oh, Contessa," because that was such a great cliffhanger. Like I was thinking, like, "Oh man, Alan really picked right. Like that was a great way to end with Contessa being found."
That's hilarious.
What a
So
way to end it.
yeah. There's a lot of talking in here that I don't honestly remember that much. I know they talk a little bit about the battle strategy,
Yeah.
and how like they were trying to send different squads to different areas because it's kind of the mindset of like, oh well, if you know the shepherds failed, we don't want to keep sending shepherds there to die, so we'll send shepherds here and maybe, you know, Fault Lines crew, not that they're there, but just the first name comes to mind, can help. And I thought that was interesting, but not like too engaging. It really was like, oh, the custodian's fighting now. This is kind of cool to see how the custodian interacts with Victorious Power. Oh my gosh, they got Contessa. Like, what's gonna happen? Like that was the highlight of the chapter for sure. I don't know that there is anything else really, for me at least.
See, what was it, 15.6? I just have like not Ingenue and Mordnog. No, boo. Why does he have all the cool people?
I will say though, yes to Mordnog. She never appears in anything later. She's
No.
named and then
It's very
where is she?
upsetting.
I was waiting for it. I was like,
Yeah.
I love
Mordnog.
Mordnog.
There's a great
That
reference.
was something. So when I went back and re-listened to it, because I'm like, there's some stuff I missed. I think at the beginning, that was one thing that stood out to me. As I was like, Mordnog is there? She's like an S level threat, isn't she? Why is she? She
Supposed to
doesn't
be.
get mentioned again.
She's like not there. She's like stepped out for a coffee real quick.
Yeah,
the entire
yeah,
fight.
basically.
Oh no.
See, that'd be a great interlude. Mordnog.
And she's
just
probably
in
been
line with everyone.
promised 30,000
Yeah.
souls for the beast.
Yeah.
So
To quote Jurassic Park, when you
Ascalon?
gotta go, you gotta go.
Ascalon? I can't remember what her bone serpent's name is.
Oh, it does have a cool name, doesn't it? Mordnog.
I mean, she's cool.
Don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
she's
remember.
very cool. Yeah, watching the custodian fight is interesting, right? It's and seeing how it interacts with the wretch, because it's like it like highlights pieces of the wretch as the custodian's hitting it, which was interesting. Just kind of visually, I could see that being really fascinating to if that were
thought it was-
visualized somehow.
If I was understanding correctly too, it was not disabling the wretch. Like it wasn't a hard enough impact to break the wretch on impact like she normally when she's hit hard, which I thought was very interesting. It's like the custodian kind of knew what the wretch was and was trying to get
Yeah.
around it
Or
or something. It was
At least not all at once. Yeah, it was like if maybe if
Right,
she
yeah.
focused fire on one spot, it would break. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, I thought it was like
More
a
of a
delayed
bubble shield.
reaction because it wasn't just the initial hit. It like took a while.
Yeah. And then I do like the idea that the facility is built in such a way to give her weapons as she's fighting, where she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, if I rip the panels off, I can
Hold on
throw
the
down live
ceiling, yep.
wires." Yeah, like
Ugh.
that. Little details like that is what visually, at least, I could see being very cool.
yeah.
She like sprays him with the water and then like rips the cord out and throws it in the water and shocks. Trying to remember who.
It's
Rain?
the Scream lady.
Love Lost.
Oh, Love
Love
Lost gets
Lost.
zapped.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Or no, wait, no, it's not Love Lost. It might be Colt, actually. It's
It's
one of
Colt.
them.
Yeah,
I think
that
it's
It is
sounds
Colt.
right.
cool because
right.
Yeah.
she goes
Yeah.
breaker so she can get out of it, I think,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
if I recall correctly.
I mean, it's the hallway that I feel like is. I imagine it the same visually in my head, the same hallway that we fought in Worm when the um when Sveta and the gang basically broke in and
Mhm.
we're having this big fight in the corridor, in the hallway with all the jail cells. And it's the same. I don't know if it's supposed to elicit the same image, but like in my head it was the exact same. Like it's like, ah, yes, I recognize this hallway. Like a
Yeah.
bunch of jail cells and a
Yeah.
hall.
Question from Truitt. Would this have been more compelling if we had seen more of Teacher's crew doing stuff earlier?
Mm,
I think as a whole, like from, I don't know, I don't want to say start to finish, like in Ward, probably. Like
mhm.
Couldn't have
the
hurt.
the problem with Ward is that things are so spread out. There's so many individual pieces all over in different directions. Some are adjacent to each other, all causing fractures. But it just it's easier to build a compelling narrative if you like build on them.
Yeah.
Like in terms of leading up to this being a big bad or however you want to phrase it. And the problem is there's so many lulls from one character mattering to another, and you get distracted by other groups that
Mhm.
you can't build up almost this momentum of going into a final boss battle, defeating them. Part of this
Mhm.
is once again it's the medium, but there's some level of planning ahead, I would think, and we just
Yeah.
don't
Do you
get
I guess
that.
as a comparison point, since Worm is the best comparison point for us, when did we start getting like drip fed cauldron stuff? Because I feel like we started getting drip
Oh,
fed that
so
pretty early on.
early.
Very early.
As
So
soon
even
early.
as we
having
meet, it's like as soon as we
It's so early.
meet,
mean,
what's her face,
we get
Harlequin group,
Mhm.
Fault Line.
yeah, Fault Line,
As soon as
Well, I
we
and
feel
meet
like
some
them.
of those
it's
others. But I
even
feel like it's
earlier
even
than that.
earlier than that potentially.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the
Well,
Travelers is a big one
that's
too.
like arc
But Fault
3.
Line's pretty early, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe it is.
So I guess, and then like having interludes that are Cauldron, yeah, the Gregor
Mhm.
interlude,
Yeah.
having interludes focused on Cauldron stuff. So when they get brought back up, we're like, okay, we know who these people are.
Yeah.
They're kind of
And
big
like
bads
Assault
in
and
the
Battery
story in a
too.
way.
Yep. Yeah, Assault
Um,
and Battery.
yeah. Whereas with Teacher,
Yeah.
we haven't really known what he's been up to. He's had goons going out and gooning.
Yeah.
Um, but we haven't seen much insight into his operation.
Right.
And so I think I'd agree with Alan in the sense that, like, yeah, if it had been drip fed a bit more throughout, maybe. What if, we had the one interlude, right, where he recruits Scapegoat, who becomes a Black Lamb.
Right.
But I think beyond that, we don't really see much of him doing anything up until it's
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, Teacher's a problem. We're going to go raid his Cauldron base.
We get to
Right.
see he like attacks the major malfunctions when they do their little, hideout following the pharmacist back.
Yeah.
Which is a great fight. Love that. We kind of get an indication of like, wow, he's got a lot of guys.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then
he's
we have
amassing a group.
Then we have the conspiracy with the faked journal, which I
Yeah.
wish was half of Ward, personally. Like, that
Oh,
should have been an ongoing thing from
Yeah.
like, what, Arc 2? Like that needs to be your cauldron. Why is all of this weird stuff happening?
Yes.
You know, why are we distrustful of people? That should have been all the way from arc 2 to arc, you know, now. And then you break in, we have the interlude about, oh, there's a whole Severance style office that just does this kind of psyops. And then you break it in, they're like, oh my gosh, they've been like orchestrating all of the dissent from the start. Like,
it's supposed, gosh, I just feel like, I think with Teacher, but also with like a lot of the plots in Worm, they all feel like they bring back to something. They all lead somewhere. You have this rising sense of dread. Like if you're reading a thriller book, you have this rising sense of like, oh God, oh no, like oh boy, we're building to something. It has not felt like Ward has been building to anything. There's this emotional weight that carries with certain decisions and certain outcomes when things happen. If there's no buildup, there's no sense of like, oh, okay, we can breathe now. And so it just feels like, oh yes, a victory. Oh yes, a defeat. Like it doesn't feel weighty because we haven't built it up to be. And so like even, I mean, we'll get to it in the interludes with my like 2 notes, but it feels like there's an emotional weight that could carry the story really well with these big hitting moments that are happening near the end of this arc, and it could be told and carried by specific people, and it is carried by the wrong people, and therefore they drop the weight. Like it doesn't happen at all. You don't feel it. And I feel like with the whole like fake diary thing, it's such a good play. It's a really good play. But it happens so fast. The reveal, like, I guess the biggest breadcrumb for that is, oh my gosh, Jessica Yamada dipping out and basically, like, putting distance. So that's a pretty big breadcrumb. So when you find out, like, oh, it's because of this, it's like, holy shit, that sucks. But it doesn't fit with Jessica's whole personality, and it feels disconnected, and it's this big play, but then there's no real kind of payoff. It just kind of feels like everyone's like, oh, we should keep an eye on this, but then it doesn't really seem to go anywhere because it's happening so late. Like it just feels like Wildbow is like, oh, that's a fun idea, and stuck it in. But he's proven already that he's got such a great brain for like connecting things and tying stuff back together that I cannot believe that he didn't have some of these thoughts earlier and be like, oh, I could sprinkle this in.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
I feel like
John,
we're kind of still like talking about the whole arc, but I feel like part of it too is Wildbow, not in a negative way, so don't interpret it this way, but he wanted to flex the powers that he hadn't gotten to flesh out yet. And so, you know, we'll get to the interludes, but I think a big reason why he picked the characters he did was solely because, like, I want people to understand how cool this power is, and this is the only time I'm going to get to explain it before they get got.
Before they get got. Yeah, and that makes sense
yeah.
too, but like it's also a sense of like if it's a cool power that you want to show off, change it up.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit different. Show it off in other ways that feel surprising, that feel like a heavy hitter, where we're like, because like, oh, I'm sorry, bugs come out of your flesh, like that's disgusting. But like, let's do that in a way that makes me feel icky and I want to take a shower afterwards. Not like I'm bored to tears. I cannot wait for this section to be over.
Yeah.
That's very dramatic, by the way. I wasn't completely bored to tears. This was not my like least favorite arc or anything. I feel like it could have been heavier, especially with what we're dealing with, and it just wasn't.
I was gonna say, Fran's comment, part of the setup was him fighting Goddess for the prison, and that just makes me think, because of how quick the Goddess arc was.
Yeah.
Could it have not just been them fending off Teacher from the prison? Goddess never even needed to be part of the story. It felt, I guess I can see like parts of that where it feels like, oh shoot, Taylor brought this the lady in blue from another world. We need to address that sometime. Um, so I don't.
It's funny you say that because
Yeah.
it does feel that like the big compelling part of Teacher's power and Goddess's power are kind of similar.
Mm.
Just in the loyalty aspect. And what made Teacher so interesting when he's introduced in Worm, we get him through Saint's interlude, is that realization that like all of that happens subconsciously. And so Saint thought he wasn't. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, Teacher has no control over me. I beat that guy." Of course, doing his bidding the entire time. And so, like, I feel like if we had entered Ward with that framework and had not referred to Teacher again, and we just had these scattered moments throughout the story where every single fight, every single thing you're interacting with characters, and like through Victoria, because she's smart and she knows powers, she's constantly referencing like, hey, this person is acting oddly or doing stuff out of the norm, and just kind of putting that together and then reaching something like Teacher. Like you're saying, you have that
Right.
build towards this rather than just throwing it at us without any room for imagination or speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it is? The thought that occurred to me as a comparison is that uh, it feels like the difference, and it's fresh on my mind still because I just watched it recently. Avatar: The Last Airbender versus Korra, where it kind of felt like Korra season 4, I think was the last season, 3 or 4, whichever one the last season
It's
was.
4.
Yeah.
4 tried really hard to tie seasons 1 and 3 together,
Mm-hmm.
but it felt very much like we're trying to pull a blanket over a bunch of stuff and kind of cover up a bunch of problems. Whereas with
Yeah.
Avatar, when everything is tied in, The Last Airbender, everything is tied together at the end. It's like, oh, that was a satisfying conclusion because all of this stuff gets tied together. Sure, there's some loose threads of like Zuko's mom that you could pursue in a comic book later, but the main threads, like the story, fits together and it feels whole. Even going back to like random season 1 episodes, you're like, oh, you remember that one-off character? They're back, and it makes sense for them to be back. Um, you know,
Yeah.
and so it is kind of that like. Unfortunately, it kind of feels that way, right? With Ward, where it's like, oh, we had the Prancer stuff and Hollow Point. Oh, now we have Goddess, and that happened. Oh, now we have Teacher. And while it is technically all connected, it feels maybe the connection feels a bit looser. It's not quite as
Yeah.
apparent as the connections in Worm.
Yeah. Worm, when we were talking about like expectations and delivery and stuff like that, I also think about the trope of prophecy, and both of them both Worm and Ward have it. And Worm obviously has Dinah call the end of the world, and it's, it's a little bit later, and there is even a build up to her making that announcement, even like, hey, things don't go well when this happens, and everybody's kind of like, even Coil's like, what? That's weird. Like, okay, we'll discuss that later, and talk about it later. She makes her announcement about Jack, and it not only prompts the fight with Slaughterhouse-9 then, but it's almost this driving force for everything moving forward with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you still don't know what's going to happen with the end of the world. Like, that's still coming to fruition. And in this, we have sort of this vague prophecy of like, oh, everybody's avoiding the mega city, but there's no timestamp on it. There's no definitive, hey, when this threshold is met, this will happen. And then we walk into arc 15, so we're near the end.
Yeah.
And he has numbers for that threshold. It's
Yeah.
hovering around, what, 96% or something like that. Yeah. And so like now we're getting that reveal that like there's an end of the world number that we know about.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we learning about this now? Why is this not not, instead of built up over here and over here and over here and over here, that like, oh, there's cracks in the ice. Why aren't we just saying, hey, like, here's a definitive thing, and and even if it's not actually definitive, we just need to say outright that this is for sure for the reader's sake. Because if we don't have that attachment point to something definite, we don't care. I don't care that like, it's a vague, like, oh, I'll keep that in mind that, you know, people are
Right.
avoiding the city. Oh, I'll keep that in mind that this is going
I'll
on,
forget
that the
immediately.
Simmerg's hanging out. I don't know if any of them are related or any of them even matter. You know, we still haven't made, we still don't know for any reason why March did anything other than she was horny for
Yeah.
like
Dog chasing cars.
and as someone who's read it before, I know why, but like, there's no connection now between
Ugh.
this and this. This is like watching 10 episodes of a murder show where somebody gets murdered in every episode. It's, you know, Murder, She Wrote for one whole season. But then for some reason, the last 2 or 3 episodes with no prompting go, and they were all connected, and you go, no, they weren't. That's
Yeah.
some real bullshit retcon. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna go back
Yeah.
and film over a scene where like they, you know, Back to the
That's some
Future,
Doctor
like,
Who nonsense.
yeah, Doctor Who nonsense.
Doctor
some
Who
Back to the
shit.
Future, like, oh, and that's when I actually gave them the knife and I took it away.
Oh.
Like, it's not great.
I was gonna say it's because the thing is that like you can do anything you want as an author. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can make things tie in that have no business tying into themselves. If you do it in a way that doesn't, like, if it's unconvincing for your reader, then it's unconvincing. And that's like, if you can make these two things that are completely and utterly unrelated and make them relate, and your reader's like, oh my gosh, that totally makes sense because this, and then this, and then this, and then they just start drawing their own conclusions, then you've done it well. But if you're just like throwing it in, you're like, ah, yes, that, and you're like, what? What? No. What do you mean? Like, that makes no sense. And in fact, I'm frustrated and annoyed. Like, I think most murder mystery books or thriller books or anything that has like a big mystery that you're trying to figure out, there's always an element where the reader is going to be like, I called it. I fucking knew this was going to happen because I saw the signs way back in chapter 2, blah, 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 blah. But if you're throwing stuff in at the last minute and it feels, I don't want to say sloppy. It feels a little sloppy, but I don't know how to say that nicely, but yeah, it doesn't tie together in a way that makes me feel excited about the ending. Like in Worm, it was so clear that we were headed towards something big, something bigger than ourselves. And like the Endbringers are already big and they just keep getting bigger and more problematic. And then things just keep getting worse and stuff ties into itself. And it's like the end of the fucking world. And it feels like this peak climactic, oh my gosh moment. And with this, like, I truly have no idea what we're leading up to. I guess we're leading up to another The World Is Ending, I guess. But like, it doesn't feel like it. Like, I'm still waiting for the Machine Army to show up. Like, I keep thinking that that's going to be the big ending, which I doubt it's going to be.
Because it can have as much relevance as anything else that's been mentioned.
Right. No, it doesn't, there's no, oh, God.
It got a full interlude.
Got a full interlude.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just last thing I was thinking about is when you're building a through line, especially for like delivering on we'll just call it a mystery because there is the mystery of how this is going to go down. You want your landing point and the path there to both makes sense on a mechanical level. I've put the pieces in place for this this machine to make sense. The concept of when you watch a murder mystery show, can the audience, if they were paying attention, figure out who it was? Or is this just magic? The detective knows and they're not telling anybody because of something they saw that the viewer could not see. It's impossible for the viewer to actually understand it. Or can you thematically figure this out? Spoilers for I forget what murder mystery book Hannah and I read at one point in time for a book club. It was like The Shadow Man or The Dark Man or whatever.
Dark Matter?
And the whole what?
Or no, not Dark Matter.
No, it's like the Knock Knock Man or the Whisper Man or something like that.
The Whisper Man, that's what it is. It's the Whisper
A
Man.
little bit of a spoilers for that if you ever want to read. You can close your eyes and close your ears and your heart to what I'm about to say.
Close your eyes. People on podcasts
the theming of the whole
Yes,
thing is
spoilers.
fathers. The whole book is about fathers and sons. And so even though I do think the mystery comes out of nowhere. I go, well, it's gotta either be the serial killer who's dead's son or his dad, and his dad's gonna be ancient. So I'm gonna say it's the serial killer's son. Who he is, I don't know. Maybe we've shown him he's like the cashier at a grocery store, and he might as well have been for how this is who it is, and you're like, well, how are we supposed to figure that out? But thematically, it's got to be the guy's son. And in this, we are building to something. Thematically, we have been all over the place with themes. So the only thing that thematically for me fits in is like some great loss of agency.
Yes.
Because that's been a pretty consistent theme, but like I said, we've been wibbly wobbly all over each arc, what we're leading to. Worm has a pretty good one, which is, what will you do to, save the world? Everything leads to that. What would you be willing to do to save the world? Kind of. And like I said, everything leads to that. Before the decision is ever going to be made by Taylor, that is where we are headed. That's the question that will come up. And here, I don't know what the question is. And mechanically, I don't know what machine parts have been put together to build the end.
Yeah. I think that's fair. A couple of comments from Fran I didn't want to miss. Oh, well, J-Man as well said, March is just vibing, bro. Just let her vibe. True.
Never.
Fran said, the Machine Army really only got half of Dot's interlude. Which is fair.
Yeah.
But it was fascinating. Clearly, it's stuck in our mind, though, as like a fascinating thing. And then Fran also said teacher has been way more prominent. He's just not as interesting. And I think that is part of it, too. He has been around. I don't know what it is. He just hasn't.
He's Bob from accounting. I don't care about Bob from accounting.
Stuck. Yeah, something about it just hasn't stuck. Well, that was 15.6, but I think it was more than that too. But we could do a 15, 7, and 8 together. I think.
Yeah.
Because then that'll be the break before the interludes. Yeah. These are the last two before the interludes, where it breaks up into a bunch of different scenes. So 15.7. Contessa fends off the custodian and makes the group choose between 3 outcomes for the city, themselves, and teacher in terms of casualties. 15.8. The group makes their individual choices, but Sveta convinces them to give Contessa the decision. Contessa chooses option C, which will lead to at least 2 breakthrough deaths, and Valifor finally dies. Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we spent some time throwing some blows. So just to for the few good things here.
For sure.
Valifor's death was so satisfying.
It was
finally, and long time coming. He died like a bitch.
He died like he lived.
Yep.
A bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
then Contessa's always a highlight. I think
Oh,
Wabo
for sure.
clearly knows how to write. Like, I think was probably one of his favorite little characters to write in Worm, just with how well she was written. And I feel it the same here. Again, I with everything else, I wish it was probably done a little differently. But I do appreciate the way Contessa's written. I think
Mhm.
the way she navigates her power, the way she sort of lets it control things. She's like apparently had
Yeah.
to practice turning it off and like remembering the instructions was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked how the way she beat Teacher was running a mind loop so he couldn't
Yeah,
get in her head.
awesome.
Is like that's a super cool
So cool.
concept.
But see, they're
Um,
in. Sorry, now the
yeah.
critique again. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like because there is like
Go off.
again the best indication we've had of Teacher's power has been Saint's interlude still. And this whole time, I eventually just had to accept that Contessa had beaten Teacher like I hoped. But in the back of my mind, you're going, but did she? But did
Mhm.
she? And
Yeah.
I wish, because especially the way that interlude ended, where you're not sure if she won or Teacher did, I would have liked some more, like, at least for the reader to be like, all right, but what's really going on here? It didn't feel like we got
Mhm.
a lot of that. Would have been fun.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm happy that she won because she's the best. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
His
yeah.
best girl.
Also,
I,
Contessa,
some of the
maybe the most interesting character in this entire arc.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
that's
yeah,
probably true.
I mean, it's
probably.
it's
Yeah.
hard for her not to be though, right? Because she is so compelling as a character with her power, and like the way she's talking with them and is like, "Oh, it's like Sveta, get into that box right now. It's very important you do this." It's like not explaining
Rain, I need
things.
a tool. Like what?
Oh yeah,
Which
Rain,
tool?
a tool, and he's like,
Any
"What
tool?
tool?" And then
telling
yeah, Imp
Rain.
just being like, "Any tool, it'll be the right one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just do it."
Oh yeah, and
I
then
love
Imp's
that.
commentary in the background
Yes.
as like
Yes.
just the veteran, like just don't understand. You just have to do what she says.
Just do it.
It doesn't
Also,
matter. It's great.
Do you know how
also
many
my
people I
favorite
work
is
under?
Yeah.
yeah, my favorite is when she's like, oh yeah, 100%. Contessa's gonna fix everything. She's a genie, and Contessa's like, I'm not a genie. And then she's like, so here are options A, B, and C. She's like, what? You
Yeah.
just out of this.
You-
Like you're making me
No,
look
she's like,
bad.
"Contessa,
Oh, it
stop
was
making me look
so
bad in front of the
funny.
viewers."
Oh my
You know we
gosh,
go
I
way back.
love that.
Yeah,
That was so
yeah.
much fun.
No, I love that she
Oh.
told Rain to throw the tool at a precise angle. And in my mind, I'm like, he can't, there's no way he can do that. But she didn't need that. She needed him to just throw it so that it like ricocheted
It would
incorrectly.
ricochet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I love
also,
it.
she knows that it's not good. She just knows that if she tells him 11, he's going to throw it at 12 on accident. Just
Yes.
doink.
Exactly. Exactly.
Same
Yeah,
with the,
that's
like,
great.
which tool? Doesn't matter. The one you give her is the one that she knew she was going to get.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There are a couple of moments
So
too, just
fun.
in the action scene where like they're talking, and she just throws a piece of debris and stops 2 bullets with it midair. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's
So
just like,
cool.
Just
"What?"
dodging
it.
the attacks
Yeah.
from the custodian.
From the
Just
Custodian.
custodian.
She's like
Just like
Yeah.
just,
Thousands,
It's-
well,
it's-
because it's all small blows. But
Yeah.
like because it's so empathic, and it talks about just the way she's like minimal movement that like I imagine they're
Yeah, it's
small
just kinda like-
blows, so she's just like redirecting everything, just like very minimal, like knees and elbows, and
Yeah.
like shunting it off to the side.
Yeah.
And Custodian's just got to be
Oh.
pissed.
Imp
Love
did
it.
give us, I thought was really cool, was she gave us a hint at one of Contessa's like major questions for the day is that she asks herself, which is
Yeah.
how do I not, or how do I avoid master control today? Something like that. Which I was
Ooh,
like,
yes.
oh, what a great
Yeah,
question.
you're like, don't you
Oh,
think I
yeah.
don't ask myself that first thing I get up every morning? Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
also
And
when
just
she's
the idea-
memorized
That's great.
everything, and Rain's like, what do we do? She's like, I don't care, just go and do what I told you, because the more I have to answer these dumb questions, the less likely I'm to remember all of the stuff that I need to remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, it's so
man.
great.
The whole thing about like surviving the custodian tearing down the facility, she's like, "You guys go
Mm.
here." Like
Yes.
Victoria, you need 1 dog. Like just on
Here,
the third
take
boom. See, my
Yips.
thing is, I don't think
Yips.
like I know that she would be right, but I would, if I were Victoria, every noise I'd be like, "Was that a blow? Did that count?"
Yeah.
Like, I'd be overthinking
Yeah.
everything so
Mhm.
much.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
Oh.
that whole scene was great. Just everything with her. We also got something I caught on the second time around, didn't on the first time. This isn't mentioned in the summaries, but Kinsey briefly takes over a bunch of cameras, and we see
Mhm.
them looking into different parts of the facility. Imp catches a glimpse of Valkyrie's crew,
Hmm.
and she kind of has a moment where she's like, "Huh,
Oh,
she's
yes.
got some handsome guys with her,"
Yes.
and Victoria's
Yes.
like, "She's not telling the truth, but we don't have time to press."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it becomes very apparent later who that was. So that was
Oh, who
a
was it?
well, it was certainly Gru, along with some other people we
Because he's
like.
back from the cabin.
They
He's
brought him
back
back.
from this cabin trip.
Very upsetting. It's very
Yeah,
upsetting.
well,
All
I'm
the
like, I'm
heroes that
glad
went
you're
to the
here, but it's
cabin.
very upsetting.
Sitting-
I mean, it is a crew of like most interesting best of the best. It's Gru, Clock Blocker, Kid Win, and
Kid Win.
Canary. And like,
Yes. Ah,
I'm just
Oh,
like,
Canary.
what a
so much
group
fun.
of characters to come back right at this moment.
Love it.
So
And
good,
again,
Too.
so good.
could have been way more satisfying, but
It could have been
we're
if it
moving
had
on.
been from somebody else's perspective, but that's
We're-
okay. Um,
We'll do this.
Yeah.
Give the syringes to the woman in yellow, to the
Mhm.
cape in yellow,
Valkyrie's cape in yellow.
to Valkyrie's cape in yellow. Who is that going to be? We don't know. Is it going to be some unnamed character? No, it's
Of course not.
Canary, who we
Freaking
know,
Canary.
who we love,
Yeah.
a fan favorite. Out of nowhere, we're
Fan
not
fave.
expecting it, but that's great. The prophecy gets fulfilled that we found the woman in yellow. She does her thing, and you're like, of course, we boost her powers. She just says, "Hey, everybody, cut it the fuck out," and
Yeah.
basically undoes like
Yeah.
Overmaster Strangers.
Amazing.
Everybody, like,
Amazing.
yeah,
oh,
Glorious. Love
yeah,
that.
yeah. Such
That was
like that's
so
fantastic.
some
a
good,
moment of things fitting together where like
Yes.
yeah,
That's
the
yes.
prophecy is
yes.
fulfilled. Ah,
Right.
yeah,
It felt good. It felt satisfying.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
So, Bernard asked, which choice A, B, or C would we have chosen had we been the ones in charge? So, to kind of
Remind me again
recap the
what's
choices,
Yeah.
I'll have to remember. C, we know. C is minimal hero deaths, minimal civilian deaths from teacher. However, teacher escapes, which is what we end up with in the end, is choice C.
and
Choice
two breakthrough members are
breakthrough members.
right. I was
Die.
kind of summarizing,
One
but
is-
yeah, minimal.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 breakthrough members die, 1 heartbroken dies, and then suffering.
teacher
and
escapes.
Teacher
Yes,
escapes.
he said that right.
Yeah.
And then
A
was the Sorry,
A
go
was
ahead.
teacher dies. No, that's okay. I believe A was teacher is eliminated. However, heavy hero casualties, not from breakthrough, interestingly, but I believe it was like 1 undersider, 2 heartbroken,
Mhm.
a bunch of hero
Remember.
casualties, and the city suffers as a result because villains take over the city.
Long
Right.
term.
Long-term
long-term
suffering.
problems for the
And,
humans.
B-
it's like, well, that's not too bad. Because it's like, it's bad. It's like,
This is
Yeah.
like it's not the undersider kind of villains. We're talking
Yeah.
like fallen kind of villain.
Yeah.
B was teacher is stopped. However, 100,000 civilians will die at minimum.
Yeah.
It's like
because
minimal hero loss, but the city
But
minimal hero
gets-
loss, but the city gets wrecked by teacher. Basically, they let teacher pull the trigger, but they catch him in the end.
yeah.
In it,
And it's
yeah.
all everybody except
It's
for
all
Love
people
Lost
they
has
know.
somebody they care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most importantly, Cassie, and we can't be losing the Cassie Chassis duo. Bad biddies for life.
True. And then option C, like we talked about. Every option though had the only option that was good for breakthrough was A, which was clearly the worst option.
Yeah.
Because that was the one where like 1 person on breakthrough will suffer long enough they might wish they died. And it's like, okay, that sucks. B, I think, was 1 person on breakthrough dies, 1 person suffers. And then C is 2 people on breakthrough die. If I recall the numbers correctly.
Most minimal casualties. I think they said like limited to like
with like in the thousands as opposed to like 100,000s or like
Yeah.
40,000 plus. So like
Yeah, I mean,
C.
yeah, it really does feel like there wasn't an option except C. But we will say, I do want to point out, this is bringing something from the interlude from Teacher's part at the end. Teacher, interestingly, seems like he was betting that Contessa was still thinking like Cauldron, where it was the mindset of save humanity at any cost, right? That was kind of Cauldron's mindset. And Contessa even implies like, yeah, that was an option, but I chose not to present it as such because that's not the way I work anymore. I thought that was interesting. I just think it's worth bringing up here when they're making their choices, where Victoria is thinking, is there another option? And yeah, there is option D. Let Teacher do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
clearly not an acceptable option to most people for a lot of good reasons.
Yeah. It's since we have brought Dinah into the equation later on, bringing her back into things. And I'm assuming she's doing stuff for percentage reasons. And as is Teacher. Teacher's always I mean, the whole reason Teacher was doing his shtick before was to prepare for the end of the world. Like, as soon as Cauldron
Ostensibly,
was
yeah.
done, he moved
It
in.
goes away.
Like, supposedly. And I'll believe him. And for the but to like have him be on top when the world ends. And same here. Like, he whatever he's preparing for, he is trying to save humanity, but like as under his control. And it's interesting going back with that and agency and Dinah and Contessa as our characters. Dinah started out as somebody who did not have agency over even her, I mean, really, or even her powers much, but was under Coil's control, and before that, kind of her parents. And then as she moves out of that, she is able to make this prediction and whatnot, and she takes control and she charges money, and like she has agency over her abilities and how she uses them, and she chooses to do the stuff. That's made very apparent from when Taylor turns herself in and they're trying to get Dinah to run numbers on her, and she's like, "Fuck you! I'll give you 98% chance you fucking die like a bitch." That one's for free. She does that. So she moves from non-agency to agency over her powers and choices she makes. And on the flip side, we have Contessa, who spends her whole life from like 9 or 12 or something like that, just saying, "Hey, tell me what to do." Like, or I kind of to her power, but also like I'm making these decisions at the same time. Like, my goal is to save humanity on my terms. As confusing as that is, we are going to run these, and she is secretly the person in charge. And she says at a moment later in a later chapter something that I just love, which is like, I've only let other people make, was it decisions twice or something like that? And and look where that got us. And so like now I'm done making decisions. I'm done making the decisions for everyone, which is what she was doing, for better or worse. Like, she was making the decisions to save the world on behalf of the world, but by herself. And now she is at this point where she's gone completely the other way. She's like, I'm done with that. Now you asked me the questions, I'm just going to give answers. I'm not going to be the one pulling the trigger. And it feels so like everybody's pissed off at her and feels like this is a cruel, like, for her to give these 3 answers and to be like, "Oh, you're making us, pull the trigger, yada, yada, yada." And it feels like, I don't know, it's framed as this, cold, mean thing, which is kind of how we've always viewed her.
And then we get to her talking with teacher, and it's so humanizing for me to hear her go like, no, I have the power to do I could stop you. I could stop all of this, whatnot, but I'm done being this autocratic, I make all the decisions for everybody place. I let
hmm
them make the decisions for them from now on. And for me, that's a great writing from one chapter to another where you feel like she's a heartless bitch to no, that was a very human moment for her to
Yeah.
Mm.
not just take over and make decisions for everybody, which is what she does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Which
sure. And I
Dinah
think
is in the opposite category kind of now. She's
yeah,
making decisions for
yeah,
people. Maybe not great. Maybe they are. Who
yeah.
knows?
We don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
It's what
And
teacher's
I
doing.
think yeah, and even Victoria admits, right? She says like when Sveta tells Contessa choose, we don't want to choose. Victoria's like, but we did all choose,
We did all
and
choose, yeah.
we know what the answer is, and that is the option that Contessa went with in the end. So it's like, yes, you told Contessa to choose, but we also, chose, and she's kind of just going with what we would have wanted anyway, which is interesting. And I wonder if her power could intuit that. Um, I don't know
Yeah.
if it
I
could
was
or not,
thinking
but my
that's what I was
assumption is that
thinking.
it did.
Yeah. Okay, I actually have a question about this. So when I was reading this part, I did not feel like Contessa was a bitch. I felt like she was being very honest and open and being like, you guys have to make this decision. And one of the things that she said to them was, a lot of things depend on whatever, this, and I'm, boiling down to three options here, but it also depends on your decisiveness as a team, which then very quickly turns into Trust speaking for everybody and saying we're not going to pick. I actually was actually mad at Sveta for this.
Oh yeah.
I do not think she should have made like that whole thing of like, well, we're not gonna pick. Like, first of all, love you, babe. Don't speak for the group. Because you have a lot of trauma with her, and you have a lot of history with her, and that, of course, is going to impact your decision. But like everybody else did make a decision, and this kind of feeling of like, okay, well, I guess we won't say what we all picked, but we all know what we picked. And so I think that it's got this feeling where like, because Sveta calls her a coward, she calls her a lot of names actually. But I
Yeah,
really don't
coward
feel
for
like
not
she
picking.
is a coward for not picking. I feel like Sveta is the coward in this moment. Like I mean, obviously she's been through a lot. But this moment of like, you don't want to have to carry that weight on your shoulders of the thought that you potentially picked something and that later down the road you're gonna have to live with the consequences of whatever that might be. So like if you lose your best friend or you lose whatever, like even if it's like, oh, it was the group that picked, like that's still in the back of your mind that like, I did choose this, I did write this down, this was my vote. And I don't know, it really got me because I was like, I don't think that was right. Like I think that it's like this idea of like, if you have somebody who has so much power like she does, like Contessa does, that like it can't be on her, which is what you were saying, Ellen, but like this idea that like it has to be on other people to make those decisions that are going to impact them and the people around them. And like if you're a hero, like Victoria says, if you're a hero, you know that you could die doing this and protecting people, and you put your life on the line every time you go outside and you put on your cape sona, whatever. Like you're putting your life on the line to do this, and they knew people were going to die and not all come back. Like we all knew that people weren't going to come back from this. And so like, what are you willing to sacrifice? But I don't know. I just, that it really rubbed me the wrong way that Sveta was speaking for the group and, calling Contessa a coward. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, babe. I wouldn't be so quick to throw that right now.
It's
Uh,
ooh, yeah.
oh, I was just gonna say I wanted to address a comment I saw. Truett said, "I want to say real quick. I think Contessa is Sveta's Amy, so I don't blame her too much," which I do get.
That makes a lot of sense. Yes. Oof.
the difference is that Contessa's cool, and
Yeah,
useful.
first off,
And then Amy's a bitch
Yeah.
and the worst person on the planet. Yeah.
First off,
So
all things are possible when you're wearing a fedora like Contessa. You can write that down.
Yeah. Very true.
No, I get that though. Yeah, that I do think Sveta spoke for the group out of that place of trauma in the same way that Victoria would address Amy for the group, and everybody else would kind of back off and be like, "This
Back
is
her.
Victoria's thing."
Yeah. And they did in that moment. They backed Sveta up. No one was
Although
like, no,
somebody
no, no.
wants to-
I think we should vote. They were all like, okay, sounds good.
Although somebody later in this chapter or arc was like, God dang, Victoria, it'd be real good if you were friends with your sister right now.
yeah. No, that you're right, Hannah. Like when I say that Contessa was portrayed in a bad light, I don't mean that like she was wrong, but that like clearly like people took issue with it, mainly
Yeah.
Sveta. And I don't think I realized till now that like we get into another one of those like, would you be friends with the Undersiders conversations? I love Sveta. She's a cool character. I could not probably stand to hang around Sveta for very long. I would get very pissy with her.
I think I'd be friends with her, but it would also be some of trauma bonding. But yeah, no, I
can
agree.
think of one individual who you and I both know that we'll talk about later that like
wait, text me. I want to know.
yeah, who is Sveta, and yeah, I'll text it to you.
Yeah, text me because I want to know who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like her and Victoria's friendship is like a really solid one that they've built, you know, through the trauma bonding, but also because they've become best friends. They've been through a lot of stuff. They've been through the worst parts of each other's lives, and they've also been on a team together, which, you know, and I find that like her energy, Sveta, oftentimes will come across very much as like a moral high ground that's truly it can come across a little stifling maybe at times. But I do think that like in this moment, like Sveta is responding out of an emotional place, which is totally valid. Especially considering that we're losing people left and right and center in the middle of a building that's crumbling in Cauldron headquarters. Like if anyone has a reason to be incredibly upset and lashing out, it's Sveta. Like she has been through the ringer here. And so I don't agree with her decision, but I also don't fault her for it either. Like she's yeah. And also like it's really easy for me to like sit here and kind of judge her reaction in this moment, but also like I've never been in that position that I would have to make a decision that would change the lives of hundreds of thousands of people if I decided that I voted one way or another. Like that is a huge weight to carry, and I wouldn't want it. I would not want that weight. I would be a terrible hero. Let's be honest. I'm not built for the hero life because I couldn't take that kind of pressure just for the decisions that you have to make like that. Like
Jacob
it's
said
not
something similar to me once. Sorry to interrupt your flow of thought.
No.
But
No, that's okay.
That triggered that memory for me.
When was that?
We were it was an Instagram thing I was sent him that was like, if your friend group all got superpowers, who would be the most likely to turn villain? And and so
That's hilarious.
he's like, you, me, and Michael probably just average heroes. Like that's we're decent folk. Alan is gonna be like Batman. He's like on his own, doing his own thing. He'll link up with us sometime if it's convenient, but he's also got like 3 side teams he's working with.
Yeah,
And
that's totally
Hannah's
true.
the rogue. Hannah's the rogue element.
Yes.
Who was Hannah?
Okay, that actually brings me so
Hannah's
much
just the rogue
joy.
element that like goes rogue at some point. Like goes villain.
Yep.
She plays
Hell
the
yeah.
line. Yeah, 100%. That'd be
Hell yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Why am
That's
I
like
the
the
boring
highest
one? And
compliment
why
you
is
guys
it
could pay
true?
me.
Come on.
No,
To be fair, I didn't
Michael,
say boring.
No, you
Like-
and Jacob are a trio. We're a team. We're a squad.
Okay,
We're
cool. No,
boys.
that's
Like
true.
you're like the Flash,
Boys.
Superman, and I'm trying to think of, I guess,
Green
Martian
Lantern.
Manhunter, where they're like all collectively like doing the thing, running the watchtower, and
Yeah.
Batman's like, where is Batman? And then you have a meeting and he just shows up and you're like, where you been, Bruce?
Yeah,
What
right.
you been up to? You're like, nothing. You don't need to know. That's part of a secret, set of things. If you ever go rogue, I'll take every one of you out.
Basically.
Now about payroll.
So is Alan hunting Hannah in this scenario?
What was that?
Alan hunts Hannah in this scenario then if she's the rogue and he's trying to take out the rogues.
Oh,
Huntress, you can't keep killing people like that. It's wrong. Now watch me break this man's back.
getting what's it? The Question and Huntress.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
that's your
Gotta
guys.
That's
look her
funny.
up
Anyway,
really quick,
I'm
'cause
sorry, I
can't
interrupted
Good
your
side
flow
tangent.
of
No,
thought
that's
for
good. Yeah.
that.
It's still superhero adjacent. It all
Yeah,
it counts.
Very important.
Oh
thing.
yes,
It's-
Huntress. Yeah. Cool.
To bring back to the end of 15.8, we get Valafor's death. I do always have to shout out. We give Wildbow a ton of praise for his handling of popular storytelling tropes, or rather the like reconstruction of them. As we call it. So I gotta give. I'll tie this in with Mama. We'll bring up Mama Mathers later too, but
Yes.
this trope always bugs me, and he fell for it, so I'm a little disappointed. But it's okay.
Oh no.
But it's the trope of you let the bad guy get away because you're the morally superior person, and then that bad guy does a bunch more harm, and then you go back to them and you're like, well, that was a mistake. Now we've got to kill you, and then you kill him, and it's like, why didn't you kill him the first time? He did harm, so you stopped him, and then he got away and did more harm, and now you're like, well, now
Wow.
you didn't fix your
Who
way.
could have seen that
Yeah.
coming? Although,
Exactly.
to be
3 strikes, you're
fair,
out.
Yeah.
to be fair, Mama Mathers and Valafor linking up with Teacher and Scapegoat was kind of a worst case unforeseen scenario because Victoria
Incredibly
probably did think like, he's blind. Now I've taken his jaw. Surely he's done now.
Surely
Yeah, 'cause
there's
they
not a
were out of
single healer
commission.
in the rest of the universe who would
What is he
help.
gonna do? Dick hypnosis now?
Oh yeah. Woo. I know.
Listen,
It
listen.
wasn't even that. It was like Mama Mathers was locked up in maximum security,
Yeah.
and he
That was a
wasn't he
demo,
was he in the wherever the fuck he was. They
were
were
in prison.
both locked up. Like you,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that they like, oh my
Yeah, they got
gosh, we let
busted
him
out.
live. It's like they got out by no
it the
fault
prison
of
raid?
anybody's, to be fair, except for Teacher, because fuck him. But
Was it the prison raid? Was
I'm
that
gonna
when they
say it
got
was the
out?
prison raid. I
It was
think it
I'm gonna
was.
assume it
I
was
think
the
so.
prison fight with Goddess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which again, small thing that maybe it was mentioned and we kind of missed it, but yeah.
Because there's a bunch that basically split off in different directions, kind of.
Yeah, because we noticed, right, he has his eyes back when he comes back, so it's like, okay, Scapegoat. Also,
Scapegoat.
just as a side note, what a key that he unlocked where Teacher was like, Scapegoat, I can use you to transfer the downside of my power and just make everybody under me better. And I'm like,
Right.
that's kind of awesome in a great way. Like, I mean, terrible for the heroes, of course, but like, I love that application of Scapegoat's power in the
Yeah.
interaction with Teacher's power. I thought that was kind of a cool note.
Yeah. They make zombies because you have to have, for every person you've made cool with the new ability, you have to move that zombification off a little bit.
Gotta
Yeah,
dump more
exactly.
intelligence.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
that they're super stupid, but generally, the more ability he gives them, the
Yeah.
less intelligent they are.
Although
So
I don't. So the lower intelligence thing is interesting, but obviously the downside of being like what I'll call in love with Teacher or enthralled to Teacher
Yeah.
seems to be the case, and we can get into the interlude here, but one of the reasons I really liked the interludes, particularly the Wasp Commandos interlude, is solely because of that insight into how teachers' power affects the psyche, where this is a nobody nothing commando of a tiny squad and teacher's great plan, but he thinks he's the shit. He thinks teacher has given him the special touch, right? And
Mhm.
I love that for what that implies, that this is why teacher squads are so hard to fight, is because they all genuinely believe they're teacher's special favorite little boys and girls.
Yeah.
And
Gosh,
I'm
that's
like,
hilarious.
I love
I
that.
can't wait to
The
talk
Wasp
about
Commando
them.
one was
Great.
so good for that reason.
Let's get into it.
So
We wanted to move to
Yeah.
Wasp Commandos. Wasp
I think we're good.
Commandos. Buy all their playsets and toys. Wasp
Wasp.
Commandos. O's.
Yeah.
In stores now.
Okay. So 15x.
It's from Cheat Commandos, a second Homestar reference. Cheat
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Commandos. O's. Buy all their playsets and toys.
Fantastic. All right. 15.x interlude various. A teacher, thrall leader, Wasp Commando, shoots Sveta before getting killed by a harbinger. Misha follows Saint through the battlefield and ultimately surrenders. Sveta has a consequential meeting with a harbinger, and they link up with Legend. So yeah, so getting to the Wasp Wasp squad black yellow. I love all the little things. He's like, me and my boys, we all got the black yellow tattoo. Jimmy over here is gonna get it in 2 days. So and so's got 92% accuracy, but that's weak. That's even the worst on our team. It's
Such
so funny.
losers.
Oh
We're
my
the-
god.
even still, the one power that I really did like, there was one really cool power. I can't drip feed.
Drip feed. Ooh, badass power.
Drip feed's power is the coolest because he turns himself into a biological weapon, but it's technically a thinker power, which I love that nuance where it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like Neuter where he just makes like different, or like Gregor where he's making different chemicals. It's like, no, he's a thinker power telling his brain, whoa, make that toxic, or like overriding.
No. He
basic
tells
biological
your body
Yeah.
to make yourself toxic.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
Is that right? I thought he
Oh.
made himself toxic.
No,
Either
no,
way.
no, no. It's
Um,
whenever you come into contact with him, he can
Contact
tell
with
your
him.
body to basically break itself apart by
Yeah,
like it'll
like,
figure it out.
Clog up your veins or have a heart attack or all of a
Yeah,
sudden
yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
ooze leaking into your
ability to
organs.
listen to
Yeah.
That's
any
right,
of
yeah,
the
by making it work
mechanisms in your
against
body,
itself.
he can
Yeah.
just like be like,
Yeah.
use that to
Yeah.
oh, T cells,
Yeah.
just start
The-
eating through the skin,
Right.
Yep.
Jesus.
So there's a cat hound, horn, shutter, drip feed, and tricks.
Okay,
yeah.
and can we just be real for a second? These motherfucking Rainbow Six Siege ass operatives, that's all they are. They're talking about like, and then he threw out his camera around the corner and we were watching through the
Yeah,
feed, and then
yeah.
all the cameras went like, I was like, okay, I don't remember. Is it Dokkaebi or whichever one from Rainbow Six Siege? One guy's got a big ballistic shield with a pulverizer on the front. I was like, you fucking nerds. You stupid nerds. It's just a siege team.
Yeah, I love it though.
So great.
I loved it
And
so
had
much.
Siege just come out 2 years prior to this? Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it really.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I love, this is one of the bits of the interlude I do love, that it is from a different person's perspective, just because then the insight into Sveta was really interesting, of like, oh, her organs aren't actually where you'd expect them to be. She has like slurpy organs that follow parts of her body.
Gross.
Like, that's why drip feed couldn't hurt her that badly.
Yeah.
And you've got and then the interact, but then just the like, oh, a bullet ricochets and kills somebody, and he's like, oh shit, a harbinger, no.
It's because his accuracy is 100%.
Is 100%.
And it's the only thing they respect. Person who can turn into a giant tentacle bear, don't give a fuck.
It's the little like it's the literal like over 9,000 meme where he's like,
Yes.
his accuracy, it's over 100.
Yeah.
He can kill 2 guys with 1 bullet.
100. Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
It's so yeah, that was very entertaining to me. I think that's part of why I enjoyed that was because it was like, and again, just that mindset of like, nah, I'm teacher's most elite squad. Oh fuck, just immediately dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get
What's the
I'll get
what's
it.
the it reminds me of the bit from like Rick and Morty, right? The civilization that's aging really quickly while Morty's going in
Yes.
for wine, the classic, right? And he's like, "Ah, I was right. We're gonna rule forever." And then Morty comes through with the portal. I was so wrong. We were so wrong. Run! It just it's great.
Yeah, yeah,
I love it.
exactly. Yeah, that Yellow Black
Fantastic.
was a highlight for me just in terms of
It was fun.
I don't know if I'm assuming it was intentional comedic effect, I'll say. I'll give him credit for that. Um just in the overconfidence of the squad to take out these characters and then just getting absolutely their poo-poo pushed in.
Oh man.
We get a little legend
Yeah.
at the end.
We do,
Yep.
yeah. So I will say maybe I'm weighting it to the front because I really liked Misha's interlude as well. There was something, maybe it's because we've spent more time with Saint. So having a
Right.
colleague of Saint being the interlude focused, I really liked. I don't know. I mean, I just kind of enjoyed this perspective on the robots, on figuring out like, hey, how are things working? Him mistaking Kinsey for a dragon baby was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
fun.
Unless I think Jacob
Unless-
had that theory. Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Maybe. Hint, hint.
Unless.
Mhm. Yeah,
Find out
unless
in Ward 2.
we'll find out later. Yeah, in Ward 2,
Electric
Electric
Wardaloo.
Boogaloo.
Oh my gosh.
Run forward.
The jinx.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
And I liked that too, right? Of course, we get to see again. Speaking of people, we forgot teacher picked up the Yangban there. Apparently,
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
why
God.
not? Why
Why
the
not?
fuck
Yes,
not?
you
Who
know?
gives a fuck? They don't do anything.
Yeah,
Literally do nothing.
yeah. They get
They get
blown up by a
squished.
wing off of one of Saint's mechs, which is great.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
they're an
Um,
incidental.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a fucking footnote.
Um, yeah. Legend being great as always, and just blasting them with all the lasers.
Yeah.
I did
Laser
like.
blast.
I think I like mech suits. So the whole scene with Misha being like, hot and cold, and being able to see the energy of the barricade, being able to focus
Yeah.
the halo fire. Those were like cool moments. I want to give some credit to that. And I did like the idea of him being like, I'm not happy that Mags died, but it feels like a balancing act for my conscience where like I've done a lot of bad and I know I've killed a lot of people
Yeah.
and it feels right that we would lose people we care about too because of that.
Yeah.
Just kind of
It-
that
Yeah.
like interesting, yeah.
It was like, this is what did we think was gonna happen? Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, does Teacher have more crosses tattooed on him now? Like he had the one on his face
mean
when he was
Saint?
in Worm Saint, I mean. But I feel like he described he's got like a sleeve of
coated now.
crosses now. Like he's
Yeah.
absolutely
Do
covered.
they all move
needs
like
to
his face
chill out.
tattoo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be
Weird.
Jacob. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, what
You
are your
like Saint.
thoughts?
On Legend in general?
Saint, but Legend too. Yeah.
Oh, about Saint. Yeah. I mean, I love Saint. What are you talking about?
There it is. We got him.
Are you trying to get out of me? You're trying to fill a
FBI.
bingo card?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
100% a
maybe,
bingo card
maybe.
slot.
All right. Exactly. I'm waiting for it. Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, Alan's talking about all the freaking nerds trying to pretend like Saint and his mech squad aren't the biggest nerds of the whole group.
Oh,
They really-
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
Saint just wants to play Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, he just get him a
Like
copy
his
of Mech
Gundams.
Warriors. He'll be good for a while.
Oh my god,
Exactly.
if he had Mech Warrior, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
do
here's
love.
the thing, we know that Mech Warrior exists in that universe.
That's
For real?
that's true. That's funny.
Well, with all the other popular media on Earth Aleph,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sure I could 7
That's funny.
degrees it, but there is a reference in here that does continue to point that pop culture does evolve up into a certain point before
Okay.
everything goes south.
There you go.
Interesting.
So granted, they
you go.
probably didn't get Mech Warrior 5, but they've got all the classic Mech Warrior games.
Okay.
There you go. Oh man. I did like the little crisis moment for Misha too, where he's like, I could help teacher and protect the Yangban, or I could save Saint. And he's like, I'm gonna save Saint. Like, I'm gonna save my friend.
You know what?
I like
There's the
that.
real
Sounds
there's the
good.
real question. Do you kill Saint, or I should say let Saint die, or do you let teacher die?
Mm,
Both are pretty big pieces of shit.
So hard.
I
Once
mean,
again,
if I got to pick which one would die, that'd be teacher.
yeah, no, I love saying.
Yeah, I'd probably kill teacher.
Saint can stay
That's all.
alive. Like he's problematic and he's annoying, and also fuck him for fucking with Dragon, but also at the same time, like,
Yeah.
what, like, other than taking out
He's a-
Dragon for a bit and being like a little bitch, like, what else has he really done?
He's literally a knight on a chessboard where like he's kind of annoying, but he can only get used by bigger players. That's it. He's not really
Yeah.
useful for anything other than like coming out of nowhere and being
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. And then lastly, in this interlude, at least, we have the conversation between Sveta and the Harbinger, which we had alluded
right.
to earlier, where the Harbinger looked at Sveta and was like, she's the one we're supposed to stop. But the moment where the Harbinger's like, I'm supposed to kill you, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I actually want to work with you. I'm like, ooh, are the Harbingers like breaking plan with like some plan they've made to kill Sveta? Like, this is interesting. This is intriguing. Is one of the Harbingers breaking from the lads, perhaps?
One
I
of the,
mean,
one of the
I
number
think
lads.
Well, it's number 5.
Yeah, because
Remember, he came
Yeah.
to that conclusion in
Yeah.
his head. We assume all the others would also come to that conclusion, but that is something that we got in his head from the interlude last time, I think.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
like moment where they're like, one of us is not in sync with the rest of us. Like one of us is perhaps going rogue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's clearly this one.
Number
Number
lad
5.
Number
Number-
lad 5.
yeah,
Cinco.
Because
number
he's like, I'm going to clean up this mess. She's too chaotic. I'm a big fan of order, which seems to be his like his big shtick. And then, you know, he's like, but you're like, this teacher is kind of also this representation of order, and I don't like him. And you're the representation of chaos, and you're stopping that. So like maybe it
Mm.
isn't all order and chaos.
How old is number lad?
I mean, I think we
Maybe
said they're
like-
all like 15, 16 or something.
Dang. I was gonna
such
try to check in with Sveta.
babies.
I was like, ooh, number lad 5 and Sveta?
No.
Not quite.
No.
Not yet.
No.
No.
Oh, no. Boy.
No.
No.
He's a child.
I'm saying boy. I have Beckford literally right
Oh yes.
right here.
He's
and
a
he
little
is
man.
Not
All right,
quite
well-
lad. Oh,
he's digging his nails into my knee every time he gets happy, so can't give him too much attention.
Shall we vibe on to 15Y?
Let's
15Y?
vibe on.
Perhaps going downhill a bit from 15X. 15Y, interlude various. Second hand scouts the fight and blows up Capricorn. Ingenue talks with Black Goat. Gets really deep about who he is on the inside, you might say. Checks on Spawner and her other boys, and injures Swansong.
You know,
Okay.
as in terms of interludes that I remember, as I'll just say not exciting as the is it secondhand interlude part is.
Yeah, second hand.
It's one of the ones I remember the most, and I don't know why.
Well, again, in terms of again, that power flexing where it's so it's such an interesting usage of powers, right? Where we get insight into how Secondhand's time stopping power works.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like
Yeah.
basically he's slowing down time so much that he is essentially swimming through atoms, and the friction that that causes without his special suit nearly kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting power and like a way to describe, you know, because there's that question of like speedsters, right? Like, how do you not break physics with speedsters? And technically, you could say he's a speedster of a sort.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so memorable and why I at least thought it was interesting. It sucks that a major character moment happens mostly off screen because of it. But
Mm-hmm.
in terms again of that power flexing, I wonder if that's part of why Wildbow chose to do
Yeah.
this. Is he's like, man, these guys all got cool powers. I got to highlight one of them somewhere. This is as good a place to do it as any. Secondhand gets to show off his pea soup swimming.
Yeah, because it felt to me like a diving bell apparatus. Like he's got one of those old suits on, with the
Mhm.
bubble helmet, and he's just like, he's got to push through the water, and it's a struggle the
Yeah.
whole way. Like he has his own
Yeah.
oxygen tanks, so he's got to
Yeah.
carry those. The fact that he listens to an audiobook and he finishes it because it takes so damn long to get around, like
Yeah.
that's.
Oh
Just
man.
And then he
the
talks about
scene.
like how often he wants to do that. He's like, I don't want to do that, but like once a month, which makes sense because
Yeah.
he's probably
Yeah.
taking. We'll just say it's a small audiobook of about 9,000 or 900,000 words, so 9 hours minimum, might be
Yeah.
16 hours
Did you
of
say
his time.
900,000 words?
Is that right? 90,000. My bad. I was right the first time.
90,000
90,000.
words.
You're right.
No,
90,000 words.
900,000 words. Holy
Sorry.
shit.
Just a
Get
short
into
ass
90,000
memory.
word
words,
territory.
160,000 for 16
Yeah.
hours of him just sitting there just plodding along the ocean's depths, with the crushing weight of all of time and the molecules that he's got to push through.
Mm.
Like,
And and just the visceral description too, where he's like he had to do it every day for Prancer, and he was peeing pink and pooping black, like, and had a cough that wouldn't go
Yes.
away. Like he was
Jeez.
bruised and like, oh man, that sucks. Like
That's
it's
wild.
so it's interesting. I was looking at just the descriptions of the members of the speedrunners, not their fates necessarily, because I think we know what happens, but I didn't want to accidentally spoil anything in the future. Um, but just kind of looking at how all of them require Tinker Tech for their powers to work. So they're both like Tinker and something else in terms of their power dynamic, which is interesting. Because yeah, like he's mentioned, without his Tinker Tech, without his suits, he really can't do it that often or it hurts too badly.
Right.
And just the image when he gets trapped in Victoria's fear aura, and he can't
Yes.
escape because it's just on all the
stuck
time now.
there. Mhm.
And just every step is just like fuck, fuck, fuck.
yeah.
Like just every step is just
Yeah, Lee.
yeah, cool power though. Very cool
Mhm.
illustration. I guess yeah, the disappointment comes in what happens to Byron and like it being in his interlude of all things, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
to me, this ties into the whole thing. I have more thoughts about it with Swan Song, but this idea of the emotional weight, and it's like because it's not being carried by somebody who gives a shit, it's hard to feel like, okay, well, are we missing things because he's just not paying attention, or are we like, fuck, like it would carry because even with a sense of like, oh, he's so cavalier, he just doesn't care, like fuck these guys, he's just doing his job, like that can have a really heavy feeling to it too, that it's like, no, they're not just any guys that you're just blowing up, like these are people that are important to us. But even then it doesn't feel like that either. It just kind of feels like, I don't know, it's that emotional weight thing again. It just feels like it's, we could have something, but we didn't.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if we got any major deaths in Worm via interlude, like meaningful, impactful, emotional ones. I don't think we got any major moments in interludes, with the exception of,
I don't think
like,
so.
you know, you need a worthy opponent. Like Eidolon's perspective for his death makes sense.
Yes.
You know, I was like, I think
Yeah, I can't think of anybody because, like, yeah.
I
No.
mean,
And
we
then
get, I
we have
guess the most,
2
yeah,
Yeah.
I
one
guess
arc.
I was gonna say the most important characters, um, who, not that deaths, but like character moments. Of course, we get the Jack Slash interlude,
right,
with
Mhm.
Theo is a pretty important one.
right.
Yeah,
Um,
that one's great.
yeah, Bernard's saying that we did get some deaths and interludes, but
Yeah, but,
uh,
like, were they important deaths or were they just, like, deaths? Because if it's people like, we didn't have any Undersider deaths that happened in an interlude.
We
That I can
got,
think of.
the closest. I mean, Gru's sort of off screen a bit, but it's not an
Yes.
interlude.
And
Although it
he's not dead.
could have been handled better, and he's not dead. Right, exactly.
So,
That
why
could
is
have
he
been
even
handled
on the
better. That's
list?
fair. Yeah.
mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I
He wasn't super major, but Accord dies in an interlude.
Accord dies
In
in
Tattletale gets injured by
Cavalier's.
Cody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
because of so we there was that one big
Right.
one. We had Cody's interlude. Bakuda died in an interlude, but that made sense because she was in prison.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
And not a huge character
yeah,
comparatively.
Yeah, a
yeah,
player near the beginning, but not like huge.
yeah. J-Man says, I think Wild Bow does have a problem in general with death moments, in my opinion. Even in Worm, you have
Mm,
stuff like Gru. Yeah, those moments where it's not like totally apparent what happened, or like it's not quite seen on
yeah.
screen.
Right.
The thing is, though, like some of the moments we do get, right? The coil scene, the regent scene,
Oh,
like
Regents
those are
kills me.
moments that, like,
Oh,
yeah, stand out in that sense.
yes. Yeah, for
Um,
sure, for sure. Because it like, you can have a scene that just, and I think those deaths where it takes a second where you're like, oh my god, did we just lose them? Like, oh my god, and you're putting the pieces together, and it's not just like and their body crumpled to the ground. It's like you have this long drawn out moment of, like, realizing, are they down and out, or are we good, or like what happened? And I
mhm.
think that we could have that, which I mean, I think at the moment Byron's not dead yet. I'm not confirming
True. We
anyone's
don't know
dead
actually if
until I see a
Byron's dead or not.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's
he was not doing so hot, so Tristan switched out with him, as we learn
And it
later.
could
But
have been. Remember, we do know, just as a hope for that too, we do know that Contessa was operating off of memory. If at the
yeah,
time she asked her power how to get to the path of victory, what's going to happen, if at that time Harbinger number 5 thought he was going to kill Sveta when he got the
and
chance,
then changed his
she could have been
mind.
death number 2. He
yeah.
changed his mind while
Ooh,
Contessa
that's
out
good.
wouldn't have known. There is a possibility that
Well,
Byron
mm,
is not death number 2, that Sveta was going to be, but Harbinger kind of changed her fate, so to speak, by making a
that's
different
good.
decision.
I like
a
that a
good
That's
lot.
my
point.
hope.
Let's go with that. I don't want to think about Byron dying.
Again,
Let's go with that. I
basically.
like that so much better.
Yeah, again, right? Yeah.
I choose to believe this.
I choose to believe things, and that's fine. It keeps me safe from myself.
Yeah. Just make
Speaking
a
of
little box for
deaths,
my emotions, put them
Yep.
in, and send it away.
Put
Put
that
that
box in
box in
another
a
box.
box.
Mail that box to
Oh, let's
myself.
go.
And I'll
Hey. Hey, we
Ayo.
just quoted it, same thing at the same time.
beautiful.
Yeah, let's get to the other stupid part.
To Ingenue and her
And Black
squad.
Lamb.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Black lamb, black goat.
Ingenue.
I
And her boys.
Yeah, I will say, so I really didn't like the interludes. I didn't feel like, and I think it's because we jump around a little bit. I honestly didn't care that much. Anjana was the only one that I actually was invested in. I really like her. I really like her powers. Very interesting. I like her little like saucy self. I liked her a little bit of backstory of her in the birdcage. Really enjoyed that. I thought that was very fun. Um, Caught me off guard a little bit there with Black Lamb. Whoa, that was unexpected. That gave me the heebie-jeebies. Whoa.
Yup.
Woo. But
Yeah.
that was fun. I did enjoy that part quite a bit.
Yeah. The like, and then the like step on the hand of like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. The, yeah, she.
Bless.
Ah.
She is a minx. Golly.
And again,
Woo.
we're seeing linking up with teacher having benefits. Her power used to need touch. Now she can just look at you and command, the shift in power.
Yeah.
Was
Which
it
I had to
her?
actually look up what her power does, but basically she can't negate powers, but it kind of plays with the levels. Like she's like if you think about powers in like an equalizer, and she's like playing with the different levels of the equalizer, like
Yes.
higher power, lower control, higher control, lower power. Like she's just messing with the levels of your power, which is so interesting as a power of like doo just gonna mess with you a little,
Yeah, right. Basically, Regent's power on steroids. Just like
Yeah.
the subtle adjustments. Yeah,
Mhm.
We love a
yeah, very
manipulator.
cool power.
Yeah, her little crew. I had to look up everybody in her crew and who they were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was Captain Claw.
Don't
Whatever.
know much about him. I assume he's a
He
villain to
Of
harpoon
lobster
nipples.
hands. Oh,
so
yeah.
he was
They both talk in the pirate
this
accent.
is his first mention. So I had to confirm. I'm like, this is the first time we've
Oh,
heard of
okay.
Captain Claw, right? It is.
Does he
He
have lobster
all
claws?
we
Because that would bring me such joy.
no. So he's basically a JoJo stand user. Um
Oh
where
my gosh.
What?
he summons an aura that like snaps out and attacks people, but he himself just kind of stands there and like aura farms, I guess. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Flexes. He's just flexing.
That's
Yeah.
his claws.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. He might as well have
exactly.
lobster claws.
Yeah. No, it is literally, it's like he can create a bestial image over his upper body that can attack things around him. It has great strength and regenerative abilities. And that's literally all we know is about his power.
All right.
So he's literally just like, I imagine he's just got the like, and just
Yeah, I didn't.
exactly. Leicester was a ward, apparently. And
Yep.
that's about all we knew about him. He has a trident.
Usher.
Usher we knew about a bit more because Usher was really
Yeah.
key in the behemoth fight. I forgot about him.
Yes.
But Usher is the
Ah.
one who can
Never
negate
played.
powers, basically. So
Huh.
he could negate Behemoth's death aura and allow people to get close enough to attack Behemoth directly.
I knew the name sounded familiar, but I couldn't remember why.
Yeah, I knew it did too. It
Yeah.
was one of those. I'm like, what is he? I knew about him at
Yeah.
one point.
Okay.
And then of course Spawner is a one of Bonesaw's hybrids.
Beautiful.
Gross, love it.
Disgusting.
Now don't worry, J-Man. I didn't spoil anything for myself. But yeah, Spawner is the hybrid between Crawler and Breeder.
Yep.
And that's horrifying. And
That's
Nedley,
bad, ain't it?
as Swansong calls him,
Nedley.
which I thought was
Nedley.
hilarious.
Oh my
Nedley.
gosh. The grossest thing about this individual is their name.
Exactly.
Aw.
Nedley. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Oh.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I did like the subtle way talking about Anjanu's power and the subtle way she just makes Swan Song fall by like just messing with her like innate ability to control her descent.
Because she
Yeah.
she jumps thinking that she can just
Like
blast herself and then
and
nothing.
Yeah.
And just
uh,
breaks her legs on impact, I assume.
God. Yeah.
It's
And
hilarious.
then goes to shoot, and one of the guys go, like, we're in Spawner's head, so he's like, little does she know, she does not have the protection of the Manton effect anymore.
Yep.
And then just
Yeah.
blows her arm off.
Blows her fingers off. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh gosh, that was really tough to
She
read.
like blows it off like at the elbow. Like
It takes a couple of tries to get all the way up to
Gotcha.
the socket,
Yeah.
and then to
Yeah.
blow out the socket as well, because it's little by little as it goes, which is just like I feel like we've seen some really impactful moments with Ashley, and when we talk about her arms getting cut off by the Slaughterhouse 9, like that's a really big impact moment. When she does the whole mic drop, hand drop moment at the book signing event thing, like these are all these like big, like we know how important this is for her. Like we know, like Rain's constantly tinkering and updating and fixing, and it's like
Mhm.
to know that she's like, the first blast probably caught her off guard, but then like every blast afterward is a choice. Like she knows that she's just gonna keep blowing off bits of her arm, and it's like, and she does it anyways, and it really he says something at one point about the more she talks, like the less confident she is. Like she talks more when she's like scared, or maybe
Yeah.
not scared, but she talks more when she's uncertain of herself. And she's talking a lot in this part, and she's talking a lot, and she's blasting left and right, and all I can think of is like, this is Ashley scrambling. Like I don't feel like we've really seen her scramble too much, because she's usually like pretty in control of herself and the people around her and what's going on, and like this is her scrambling, and that hurt a bit watching it happen. But it's still, I would have liked to have seen more with him. My big nitpicky thing, she keeps calling him little brother, which is so great. Love that so much. But we don't really have, like, he's having these moments where he's like, oh, I vaguely remember this, or like, I don't know why I know that, but I do. In like little kind of moments while he's thinking, but he's not really in his head too much. He's not really thinking about her in relation to him and who they are, and that potential emotional tie that's happening there between them. And I would have liked a little
Yeah.
bit more of that. I think it would have made his perspective more interesting. It would have made his relation to her more interesting. It's a lot of like details of all of the orifices that his bugs are coming out of, which, oh my god, that was disgusting.
What orifices?
All
yeah.
of them, apparently.
I've never been more disgusted by the word urethra in my life.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
Or right before that,
Yeah.
he made all of the sphincters
Yep.
Yeah.
all over his body.
Yeah.
Open up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think to that point, Hannah, about the emotional depth of the character whose head we're in, Ned and Bradley, Ned being Crawler, Bradley being Breeder,
Yeah.
what we know about them would not indicate emotional depth, right? In the sense of like,
No.
we know
Well,
like Crawler
yeah,
had
that's true.
become
That's
the
true, yeah.
apex of evolution, and that was all that he had going for him character wise.
Right.
You know, he literally had one goal in life, and he, died doing what he loved.
Mhm.
And
With his
and
arms
Breeder,
outstretched to the sky.
yeah, Breeder, we don't even know who he is, so
Yeah.
we don't care.
It feels like they do have this kind of connection, and it could have been played up a little bit more in his head. Like,
Yeah.
give me at
Yeah, it
least
should
a
have been.
little bit of something. But he was just like uninterested in verbally sparring with her. He was like uninterested in playing any games. Like he was just like, I have a job to do, which again
Yeah.
is understandable, but we could have played that up then a little bit more. It just felt like it was a very like a neutral, like he's just kind of neutral. And I would have liked to see either like, because at one point she keeps calling him little brother, and he's like, ugh. This is the best we get. It's just kind of like
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
you don't want to talk. We don't want to just have a little moment, since we are so good at going on for paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs with somebody thinking in their head when 1 second has passed. We don't want to take just a moment to see how we feel about that. No? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's
Whatever.
man, I'm kind of two minds of it, because I not necessarily blow by blow, but this was the kind of fight that I could visualize really well. I don't know why. And the man, just the desperation of the fight where Spawner
Mhm.
feels like he's on top. And that's what I like about it from his perspective. The one thing I like about it, the emotional depth is lost, but the desperation and Spawner feeling like I'm the best thing there is and she can't touch me. These other
Mm.
capes aren't shit. Like I can kill them easily. And
Mm.
then his fatal flaw ultimately being that he is that hybrid between Ned and Bradley and he can't really decide on things and he ends up getting
Mhm.
caught in the middle. Like
Yeah.
I
That was
really liked like that part and just the visualization of it, like, right, we talked about Ashley's hands crumbling. She's holding the
Mhm.
power for too long and it's like eating away at her fake arm. Climbing the ladder with the one arm. Like just something about that just really visually was cool. And to Fran's comment, the other hand though, I do think it is really wild though. Again, it's that power flexing, right? Like with second hand, and this is more 15Z technically. We've moved on past 15Y, but that's fine.
Mhm.
But like with second hand, he wanted to flex. Here's a bit of interesting world building. We have, like Fran pointed out, one of the fusion capes, who we never really got to see inside of before, and what it's like for two people to be fused into one mentally. Um, and yeah, I think though, unfortunately, like you said, you do lose a little bit of the emotional impact of it.
Yeah.
Because then it's awkward. You have to have a piece of his head remain alive so you can see the rest of the scene play out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Like,
just, like, awkwardly sitting in a swivel chair or
yeah,
something. I don't know what it was.
yeah, yeah.
Here's what's sad is we have multiple characters that can run around and be omnipresent for these omnipresent things. We did it once with the custodian, like, so maybe we used that up, but and then personally, I think we should have just had an entire thing for Mama Mathers,
Hmm.
um, because we could have had it from her perspective technically entirely
Yeah.
with the way that her power works. And also, like, combine that with actually doing her backstory, not just telling us her backstory. That
Mhm.
would have been great, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
know,
has a really interesting backstory for sure.
Very
super
Or
tragic
could
interesting.
have.
backstory, but then tying it back into Cauldron and like her whole like I'm just kind of here, like semi loyal to whoever Cauldron is at the time, like doesn't matter who, uh,
Mhm.
which is why she's there with teacher in the first place. Like it's interesting.
Hmm.
Also, we learned that she's Cauldron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that was interesting. Little side note, she is Cauldron.
Also, that she probably in reverse got. I know she got her powers, and they are, surprised they're not. She did not pass her powers down to Elijah.
Mhm.
Hers are separate.
Bit of a surprise.
A bit of
Yeah.
a surprise. But I almost wonder if there's not some weird, like, something weird going on there with like
Mm.
shards because they have
I
remarkably similar powers.
Very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not be surprised if perhaps Cauldron was somehow able to. I mean, maybe it is a DNA thing, right? We talked about how shards tend to latch onto DNA, so maybe if she asks specifically, "Hey, I need a power that helps me counteract my son's power so I can take care of him better and survive."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, we can give you a master stranger power.
Mm.
That's what that would be.
Yeah.
Master stranger thinker, something like that." And what do you know? Just so happens to be a lot like her son's power. It kind of makes sense. Yeah,
Interesting.
definitely the DNA
Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes me wonder about nursery a little bit, about how that's gonna go when nursery does eventually have her baby.
I think that's
Uh,
not going to happen.
I thought
really?
I thought the implication with nursery was that yeah, baby was dead.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
what?
Or like not
Okay, wait.
not
Hold
dead,
on.
but like
it's
not was like part of her, right? Or was like,
Yeah, I was gonna say that it was like perma baby.
yeah,
Oh.
Because technically it's like I don't
What?
think she's ever going to give birth
Yeah,
is the whole thing.
I kind of had that
And
vibe.
Oh my
too.
because
God,
the
that's
shard is technically the baby's, but because DNA wise and like body wise they're still
Yeah.
one-ish,
Uh-huh.
she has somewhat control over that.
Right. Oh, that's horrifying.
So she's a mech suit.
I
it's gross.
I have been
She is
Yeah.
a mech
Or-
suit, that is correct.
Or
I-
even
I have-
even,
I
even as
have
Fran
been a-
said, we've even speculated that she's not actually even pregnant.
not
It's
actually
just kind
pregnant
of
at all.
an
Well,
illusion.
okay, I mean it is medically possible.
Psychosomatic.
It has happened.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Where
Yeah.
someone just wants a baby so bad that everything about your body is like as if it has a baby and then there's
Make a baby.
actually no baby. It's a really weird thing. I was going under the assumption that she had the baby. The baby has powers and it's really fucking weird. And she's just like, ready to pop any day now. And like when that baby's born, that's going to be a big problem. I actually have been I haven't said this. I've been kind of going under the assumption that nursery giving birth and having a baby, this baby is going to be a fucking problem and we're going to have to deal with it later on in the book. So the fact that I'm not even close, like, I'm kind of bummed out a little bit. And also very
Could have
sad
been
for nursery.
Taylor's great return as the baby killer is just like swoop in and shoot the baby.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Deus
Oh,
Ex
man.
baby killer.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta wrap
Deus
my head
Ex-
around that
Deus
thought.
Ex
I have
Machina
not.
baby.
Yeah.
Sounds like a job for Calabi.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
Fabulous.
We're kind of in point Z. I was gonna say, do you want to
Yeah,
just
I can just
Yeah,
read
yeah,
the
yeah.
summary for 15Z.
Go for it.
15Z, interlude various. Citrine and Numberman get car bombed, apparently. Mama Mathers fights Chevalier and others, Rain.
Mhm.
Swansong fights it out with Spawner, and they both die. Teacher has cracked a hole to the shard dimension, and he escapes with Legend. Yeah, so a couple of comments I did want to get to as well before we did that. Can you believe Valafor triggered as a baby, him being a first gen natural cape? Yeah, the joke in my head is like Mama Mathers being a newborn parent and like going to like some kind of mom group, and they're like, she's just like, yeah, I look at my baby and I just can't stop looking at him, and they're all like, oh, that's sweet, and they're like, no, you
Aw,
don't
that's so sweet.
understand.
Like, oh, yeah.
I literally can't stop looking at him, and they're like, oh. What do you mean, dear? Like,
Oh, that's
you just
so
love him
funny.
so much.
I love that. That's freaking
Um,
hilarious.
yeah. And then
Oh, man.
J-Man said the squandered potential is the worst part of Ward for them.
Yes.
It would almost feel better if the story was just ass, but there are so many good pieces here. The puzzle just
It's
isn't
so
stuck together
true.
right.
Yeah.
And I think that's
so
that's kind
true.
of where we are too. It sounds like most of us.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
we've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. As critical as I am about story things and plot and some character choices, whatever, we wouldn't be doing this podcast if we weren't big fans of Wildbow and Worm and very invested in reading all of his works. So it's like I will say, even though I have been very critical of this episode, there are a lot of things that I love and I love to get mad about too. So like it's oh gosh. It's a it's a
Angry
double-edged
because we
sword.
care, yes.
Angry because we care. You know what? That'll be our new merch t-shirt. Angry because we care.
Yeah, there it is. Exactly. Make
that's
mugs.
that twisted. Yeah, there you go. That's that twisted parental logic of like, you're most critical of the people you love the most. And darling, that's why I tell you everything wrong with you.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's terrible.
Getting.
There was
Uh,
another trope with Mama Mathers. I don't even know if it's a trope. I call it a trope. I'll call it the Doom trope. It's existed before Doom, but I only think of it in terms of Doom. If you play any of the new Doom games, the way Doom introduces new enemy types is via a boss battle. So you have a big boss battle with this enemy type. It's awful and takes forever and like 4 hours of just reloading the fight over and over and over again until you beat the boss. You're like, finally. And then that just becomes like an enemy type you just fight all the time.
Yeah.
But because you know how to fight the enemy because you've spent 4 hours perfecting how to beat it, it's way easier to fight moving forward. And it's just like now it's just an enemy type, and you can just keep fighting. And I get that a lot with in this moment with like Mama Mathers specifically, but a few other characters where it's like she was a big problem early on in this story. Like,
Yes.
you know, the equivalent of the Leviathan arc early on was the Fallen and Mama Mathers. Like they beat her almost by luck. Like it's just she's so close. And now in this fight she's not trivial. Like it's some effort.
No.
But they get through it so quick and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Also, yeah,
Power
they
scale.
do. It's
rough.
well, it's
It's
right.
bad.
It's they have the counter tech now where they're just like, she's like, why can't I control rain? And it's because her power is based on people seeing her.
Yeah.
So they just make it so they can't see her. She's just like up to them. So it's like
Right.
it's such a simple solution, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
That is the way it works. And obviously, if she touches you or something, then you hear her voice, and then it's different. But
Right.
I will say too, this is one portion where the audiobook was fascinating to me because just as a side note, they had somebody. I don't know if it was their natural accent or not, but only with what I can describe as a vaguely Eastern European accent.
Yep.
I did not listen to the audiobook, so
Are you
I'm
gonna say my
here's
favorite
the
thing?
thing.
I was gonna save it for the end, but if you're gonna bring it up now, that's
No,
fine.
no. But I was just gonna say, in my head, I'm like, man, I wish this was just like a deep Southern accent because that's what it should be, and I think that'd be so fun.
That
It'd
would
be
have been
like,
great.
the moment I saw my baby, I locked eyes with him, and I knew.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
oof.
oh, rain. Like just
It's so creepy.
Wait,
it
what
would
were
have
the
been so
names?
good.
This is a deep callback. Anyone ever watch Pete's Dragon?
Oh my
No.
A
gosh.
long time.
It's a
Oh, that's a
Golly.
callback.
the like the like hillbillies that were chasing
Yep.
after him the whole time. That's what
Oh.
that accent just reminded me of, Nick. And same exact
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah. But that was just the only one. The audiobook was really good this time generally.
Yeah.
But that was the one I'm like, the Eastern European accent worked, except for the fact that like in my head, she's Southern because of the Fallen are just all Southern rednecks to me. Sorry to any
I like
rednecks
that
out there, I guess, but
that voice actor was very good. She's narrated a few different interludes before. But Nick, did you notice how that particular reader pronounced one of the characters?
I'm trying to remember now.
Someone.
Oh, Chevalier. Yes, she said Chevalier.
No
She did.
way.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's right. That's
We
right.
can get it right every time, you know?
It's
She did
canon
say
now.
Chev-
Okay.
I was so happy. So
I
happy.
refuse to believe.
Oh, that's funny.
That's actually
I might have to go
hilarious.
back and listen to it just so I can hear her read that bit.
Yeah.
I'm posting my exact reaction when I heard that into our Patreon.
Oh,
That's so cool.
nice. Some behind the scenes.
I'm
We have
waiting
the
with
meme
bated
ready.
breath.
There.
Well, we'll watch it
No.
afterwards, but the patrons can react to it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she did. She did. I forgot about that.
That's so good.
Which
Phenomenal.
that again, it's one of those moments where I'm like, I really liked this interlude, and I wish we'd had more of it sooner. The insight into Mama Mather's background, the insight into how her powers work, and how it is like for her, the cult thing is real, right? She talks about like, no, I punish people who don't believe in God in the Bible. Like it's
Yeah.
not like, and it's not just a
Oh,
power
yeah.
thing. She's like, because I'm right, like
Yes. She
and
creepy.
so
A creepy
yeah,
lady.
yeah, super creepy,
Yeah.
super weird, and
There's
just
a couple
the
things she says that just make me go,
yeah,
oh.
yeah, but just the like,
Ew.
Oh, that ew.
the like how she rubs her hands through Chevalier's hair,
Oh, through his
and
hair?
then like.
And
And then she's
does it
like, and then I
again?
do it again, but with my power and not with my
No.
hand. And I'm like, ah.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, and then she puts her fingers in his mouth, and so she can. Oh no!
Well,
Mm-hmm.
No!
Hard
No!
pass.
No! And then
Yeah.
she
Thank God
can
he bit
taste.
her.
She can taste
the
him
bite.
tasting her. which is just not the thing that you want to be rated
Oh,
ever.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and then
weird.
but how powerful it is, right? Where she's like,
Mm-hmm.
first she makes her blood taste sweet to him, but then
Yeah.
she makes it feel like
Ambrosia.
acid. So he believes
Yep.
his lower
His
jaw has been
mouth
burned away by the acid of her
eaten
blood.
away.
And and oh man,
What triggers the
So
bite?
good.
I want
triggers
to
the bite.
He sticks her
just sticks
fingers
her-
in his mouth, and
He
so he
sticks
goes,
Yeah.
the
ah.
fingers in there, and he
Yeah,
And that
bites
gets her
down.
blood in him, which then allows her, now that he's tasted her blood, she can get in.
okay.
It's
Gotcha.
another.
And
It's another way to be in him.
Yeah,
ugh.
beautiful.
Hated
Man,
it so much.
Mama
Also,
Mathers, who knew? For all the talk Ingenue had of getting Chevalier inside of her, Mama Mathers got inside of him first.
Ah! Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the thing with him though is without his, because he's got the whole nullification thing, he doesn't have the strength to stand up because of the weight of his armor. Is so
Oh yeah, that
strong.
was cool.
And he can't lift
Yeah.
his head up to look at her, so they have to go and help to move his head up to look at her
Yeah.
and like tilt
yeah.
his head up. And so interesting.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. J-Man commented, Mathers is still insanely creepy. Also just casually mentioning she's going to segregate the black and browns from the white.
Actually, what she says is the black and browns will be on their knees serving the white. It made me very grossed
Yeah.
out. Like it was,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah,
golly.
she's icky. She's
we
icky in
kill
lots
her,
of different
please?
ways.
Yeah.
Is it implied she
Well,
died?
I
She at
think
least
it's-
got
I
beaten
hope
up.
so.
So it's hard to tell. This was one of
Yeah,
those
it is.
interludes where I don't always read the comments at the end of the
Yeah.
chapters, like to try to get the live reaction from when the episode released or the chapter released. But for this one, I did, and it seems very unclear. Like everyone's like, "Don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
So I guess we're supposed to be
Find
a
out
little up
soon
in the
enough.
air. Yeah.
As Fran said, Chevalier really is the male cape that gets harassed by female villains the most. And it's like, yeah,
Poor guy.
he's the poster child for like, hey, men get harassed too.
He's
Yeah.
literally a knight in shining armor.
Assault is assault.
Yeah.
Report it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Golly.
God. Whew. Yeah, what a creep.
Yeesh.
Yeah, either Citrine or Numberman are dead too. We don't know that. Numberman OG.
Yeah. Okay.
What a
okay.
throwaway line.
Supposedly.
So
Supposedly. I don't believe it. I'm not gonna those two are the types of capes that I don't believe they're dead until like somebody reliable says they're dead, right? I'm not going off of teachers'
Yes.
word they're dead.
I don't believe it until I see a
no.
body.
Not
I
going
still
off
haven't seen
of
Gru's body, so I don't
Saint's
believe it.
word to teacher. That
Yeah, Saint's word to teacher. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely not going off of that third hand knowledge there. Like the fact that
no,
however,
I honestly, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if one of them did actually die, the question is which one died. And the best comment I saw was that if one of them truly is dead, it's definitely OG Numberman who would have mathematically found the way to save Citrine.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I don't think so because of the way
I don't think so either.
Saint describes it, if I'm remembering correctly, and I got to really reread it again. But he says something to the effect of they got a call and fled, and due to the rush, overlooked their safety protocols. And I was like, Harbinger overlooked his safety protocols.
Safety protocols.
I don't think so. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Though
I don't
to
know.
be fair, if anyone besides Citrine could make Harbinger rush, it would be Contessa. And the implication is the call came from Contessa. So
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. No, it's not.
Oh, that's true. Who called?
Dinah.
Yeah.
Dinah
Dinah,
called.
right, Dinah.
Right.
Because she
No,
goes,
'cause
she
Contessa-
immediately has a meeting with the anti-parahuman group
Yeah. She's
right after.
yeah.
Well, that's true.
She's-
but
It says she's
Contessa-
mad. She's angry.
Did Contessa tell Kinsey to make a call?
She
It's
told
something
them-
like that.
She
There's something.
She told
sneaking
them
on
to like, hey, tell them that they need to get out of here. I thought they were talking about that location, but they're back in the city.
Yeah. No.
Maybe it was her and they blew up, but
I'm gonna check.
I think Contessa was like,
you might
Contessa
be
mentioned
right.
Citrine.
yeah, I think so. I want to say it was Contessa being like, "Hey, someone needs to call the mayor, tell her to go, like, leave whatever meeting she's in and leave."
So She talks to the harbingers and says, "I need one of you to go to Citrine. Tell her to go
Yes.
home right away."
Yes.
Hmm.
And he
So
says, "I'll
one
stay
of
here." The other one
the
goes, "Cool, I'll go." Yeah.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
but even more so,
So
then you're left with
technically the
like,
call came from Citrine, but it would have been one of the harbingers.
if it's a Contessa plan, then it could have been like, oh, if I do this, then teacher will think they're dead, and not
Yeah.
think
Maybe
they're,
so.
it
Right,
could have,
right, right.
who knows? It's Contessa. We'll
It's not.
find out.
Maybe.
Or even
Yeah,
Dinah, same thing, honestly. At that point, who's ever
yeah.
behind that moment is
Right.
like,
Right,
we'll
right, right.
figure out what
Because
it.
Dinah was mad about the bombing because it was assumed that the bombing was because of the anti-parahuman
Yeah.
Right.
group, and
Right.
Dinah's been potentially maybe allying herself with them a little bit, which
Yeah.
is weird, and we need to talk about that, John. But yeah, and so she's mad after the explosion happens, after the bomb goes off, which I assume would make sense if she's like, "Fuckers, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?"
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. Ugh,
I don't know.
crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, I will say too that we should have seen Ashley's death coming, because I was thinking about it and I'm like, her name is Swan Song. Like that's like,
Did we
if
not
that's not
call
the
it?
most foreshadowy name. I think
Did
we
we not
did
call
call
it
it
last
pretty
time?
early on.
We
Like,
kinda
if
did.
somebody, I think last time we may have,
Yeah.
and early on we may have called, like, if anybody were to die, we could see this character dying.
Yeah.
Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But we'll pat ourselves on the back either way. Um, for being technically right one way or another. But yeah, I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, Swan Song does literally mean like the final act.
Yeah.
So
I just watched a
rest in peace.
Supernatural episode where it was called Swan Song, and I was like, yes, I know what this means.
Yes. Context clues.
I'll say my quick piece because I've said it before. No need to rehash it. Character deaths are stupid.
Yeah.
I hated her death, and I would have hated anybody's death. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm upset about
I-
it. It hasn't hit me. I don't know how I feel yet.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't feel like the emotional weight was there, and so at this point, I'm like, she's taking a nap. I guess. I don't know.
There's gonna be a scene with Kinsey in 16 that makes it hit
that's
home
gonna
harder, I
wreck
bet.
The problem with character deaths in a story like this, and unfortunately Wildbow wrote himself into this position, is you just gave us Vista, which was as assured a death as you could write, and
Yeah.
then wrote her out of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
And
it
that
was an
was
emotional death too.
and it was an
It was
emotional
a decent
death. It
one.
was a big impactful fight, all this kind of stuff. So like, as a reader, you can't convince me that she's dead now until I read the end at the end of the story, and she's not there anymore. And unfortunately, that's going to take a lot of the emotion out of the death going forward, because that will not be resolved until I finish the story. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's just it'll always be there. It's just one of those things. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think it loses a
That
lot of its impact.
that aside, this is the most. I feel like it's appropriate that if Swan Song did die, that it is the most anime ass fight scene
It was a badass fight
in
for
It was
sure.
a
in-
pretty good fight.
It was.
in the book so far. With not only that, with the one-liners where like even the line, I can't remember what exactly she says, but Nedley is like,
Oh,
"No,
The
that's not a good line."
darkness Is
Yes.
Oh,
my ally.
The
As
darkness is my
Gru's
ally.
shadows come over
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, and he's like,
oh,
"No,
God.
that's not a good line."
Yeah. Oh.
No, I mean
I love that.
it was a great
It was a great fight though.
fight and a good way to go out.
Going
if
out in
you're
a
gonna-
blaze of glory.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it.
Just I'm trying to think of what it. I'm trying to think of like a fight it reminds me of, and I think in anime, and it reminds me of. I'm trying to think of a couple of things, right? Where it like. It reminds me a little bit of like when we finally see Alphonse in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood actually fight, and he gets one of the Philosopher's Stones and he fights Pride and the other guy. That's a great fight scene. Like we haven't seen him fight much before, and so having him do that was great. It reminds me like early Naruto, kind of the fight with Zabuza and Zabuza's apprentice, who I can't remember, where like Naruto and Sasuke are losing so badly,
Yeah.
but they managed to pull it out in the end. Like
Haku?
fights like that. Haku, I think that is Haku. Yeah. So fights like that where it's like you don't know if they're gonna pull it out. They're fighting a superior foe, and then but they're still in it. They're still quippy. They're still like going there with it. Yeah, it was a good. In the purely fight sense of it, it was an appropriate ending. And the emotional side of it, not as strong as I wish it could have been, but we take what we get, I guess.
Yeah, J-Man said, even though it doesn't have the weight it needs, I appreciate her having a 1v1 with a fellow Slaughterhouse clone, and I can kind of agree with that. I would have liked it to be weightier.
Yeah, I could have, if this was somehow the other, if it was Damsel versus Swan Song, then I feel like this would have been a great fight.
Gosh, that would have been crazy.
Yeah,
I
imagine,
just- I don't-
imagine Damsel and Swan Song taking each other out in
Holy
the same
just
fashion.
being
Yeah.
shits to each other,
Oh man, now that I'd be
fighting
sad
your
for
evil
that.
clone again. Like,
You have to. You
would
have
have been
to.
great.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Would have been good.
I'm gonna do a PowerPoint on why character deaths are stupid.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. Is that going to be our next Patreon content video?
Yeah, right.
Please.
When you say
Sure.
character deaths are stupid, do you mean like all character deaths or just
Yeah.
these in particular?
No. All character deaths. It's a stupid trope. Characters
I
should
would
not die.
love to hear
Characters
this.
shouldn't
I'm actually
die.
very
He's talked about
interested.
this before.
I have.
Yeah.
Specifically. I think it involves
I want it
Game
more.
of Thrones is like,
Game of Thrones is a great example, but there's a lot of good examples.
yeah.
See, I love when
Well,
characters die. It's like one of my favorite things.
Give me a
But it has to have
tidbit of
good
what
weight,
you
or else it doesn't mean anything.
Give you a tidbit of
Give,
what I mean.
give me a tidbit of what you mean by characters shouldn't die. I'm curious.
Okay, and that I say it absolutely. It's not an absolute statement. There are absolutely stories where character deaths are integral to the plot and work very well. But I think for the most part, authors and screenwriters and storytellers use character deaths as a cheap ploy to emotionally connect the audience with a certain character instead of naturally developing those emotions with the character. Off the dome, I would need some time to give you some really good examples of that. But most of the time, I think the story would be improved if the characters don't die in the scenarios.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
PowerPoint to follow.
Interesting.
Patreon.
I'm
content.
very
Also
excited.
thinking
I'm
about
looking
it.
forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking about all the people who die in my books. A lot of them
so
die.
like real
Everyone
quick,
dies.
obviously, in a story like The Hunger Games, characters have to die, right?
Yes.
So like
Right.
there are times when it's a central theme or
Yeah.
purpose of the story, right? Those I'm not talking about those, obviously, that kind of stuff. We'll have some fun.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait for this PowerPoint.
I can definitely see where you're coming from in the sense where if it is not integral to the plot or if it doesn't like at least make sense structurally within the world the author has created, it can kind of take you out of it in the sense of why did that character die? Oh, it was just for the emotion of it, for the moment of it, because the author wanted them to. Like because somebody had to die. A good example might be like at the end of the Harry Potter movies and books, there are a lot of characters who die.
Yeah.
Why?
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 Harry Potter's a
Except
good
to make
example.
it like, oh, this was a big tragic battle and a lot of important people died and gave their lives for the battle. It's like, yeah, I guess. But we
Harry
didn't-
Potter is a really good example because the emotional impact comes after the climax, so it's just the resolution of the story. So those emotions have nowhere to go. You're just like, oh, I'm sad because my favorite Weasley twin died, and now I just closed the book, and now I am sad.
Yeah.
It's like
Very upsetting. Very upsetting.
Yeah. Sorry for those who haven't read Harry Potter. Spoil the ending.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
It's all right. She's a transphobe
Spoilers,
anyway.
all your favorite people die at the end of Harry Potter.
Exactly. Exactly.
But like Mufasa dying is important to the plot, so it's good.
That would be
Yeah.
on. I'll have slides where it's well done and important. Exactly.
I myself am a big fan of kill people because you can.
Just the chaos of it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, this is why we're
I love
on the she's on the villain side eventually when she
Yeah,
gets
exactly.
powers.
I'm feeling vindicated once again.
No, I think I go back to it's got to fit one of two things, preferably both. Is it thematically like solid that this like in line that this person
Yeah.
needs to die, that like we need a death there,
Well,
or does mechanically for the plot their death further the plot?
even the second point, but even simpler than that is just, does the character's death advance the arc of another character? If so, likely can justify it. Although, and I would argue most of the time, even there, it's a cheap justification. You could advance the plot better
Another way.
via
yeah.
other means, not just character death.
Mm.
That's what we'll get into.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Very cool.
$1 a month. Patreon.
Another month, Patreon content. Stay tuned.
There you go. Well, the only thing left is we do see that Teacher does reveal a bit more of his plan. He's cracked a hole into the shard dimension, the space between worlds, where shards reside, which is Rain's dream world. Sveta's had dreams of it. Or Sveta says it's like what her power feels like when she lets go, and Swan Song, or somebody's mentioned having dreams of it. We also see at least Teacher's justification for why he did what he did, which is he believes that the shards, although they've kind of lost their administrator, they are still trying to pursue their previous command, which is gather data, come to a head, blow up, and move on. Right? We know that plan from when we had the entities interludes back in Worm. However, they've lost their navigator system basically, so they're just doing it now without that central hub. He is saying that whatever he was planning, we don't know exactly what that was, but whatever he was planning was ultimately for the good of all humanity, to try to protect what was left. Contessa says, I don't really operate that way anymore. I'm not willing to sacrifice the 999 to save the 1000. Like that isn't her modus operandi anymore. And then we also get the stress meter, which I thought was interesting, of like every time a power is used anywhere on any Earth, it kind of adds to the base level of shard stress, we'll call it, I guess.
Yeah.
And there is a tipping point where if it hits that 100%, then something crazy is going to happen. So now, granted, we're 3/4 of the way through the story technically. Now we kind of have like a definable, kind of like Dinah's end of the world prediction. We have a definable thing that is predicted to be happening. And then Teacher poofs out with Legend. So
Jesus.
there we go. Confirmed was option C in the end.
Can Legend I don't think so, but I couldn't remember. Does his power allow him to travel between dimensions or no?
No,
It allows
he's
him to
built for
travel through space.
travel.
Yeah, I knew
Space
the
travel,
space
but
part of
not-
it, but I couldn't remember if his
yeah.
if his breaker form was multi-dimensional.
Not that we know of. It's a possibility that theoretically could happen in the future, but
We assume
but
it
we
was
don't
that
know.
third person who like bopped in, bopped him out.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Legend was just fast, quick boy.
Yeah.
Bah.
Yeah.
He's speedy.
I did like that one line about Legend where Teacher was like, Saint, I want you to pull out because you're gonna win, but not in the way that you think you're gonna win. In the sense of like at first it's like Saint's like, oh, you mean I could beat Legend? And Teacher's like, no, you're just gonna corner him, and then he's gonna destroy everything.
Yeah, he's gonna break everything to smithereens.
So
Oh, it's great.
yeah, because Because he could go full laser. I feel like he just turns into a living laser and just blasts around everything. I feel like
Yeah.
that could be a
Lasers
thing.
or
Zoom.
lasers.
he could do.
Legends definitely one of those, like Narwhal, like Eidolon at the time. Where you get the strong impression that they are way more powerful than we've seen them be, and it's only because of
Mhm.
some, hey, I've got to be the good guy, and I can't just go around
I live in a
destroying.
world made of cardboard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, let's not forget. I bring it up because it's so cool. Legends feat, where he gets trapped in the Chronos sphere back in Worm, and
Yeah.
literally breaker forms through what we can only assume were millennia of time in order to break out of the ball. It's
Kansu
so cool.
sphere. But
The
yeah.
Kansu, not
Mhm.
Chronos. Yeah, Kansu. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the zzz, and then busts out.
Just
He like comes out and his hair's like long and stuff, and he's like, I'll be honest, I kind of blacked out there.
exactly.
Didn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Exactly.
He's great.
Yeah. To
All right.
Bernard's question, can you predict what happens when the powers overload and the ice breaks? Do you think the heroes and
Oh,
villains would
gosh.
stop using powers? Again, I'm kind of sticking with my prediction that this all goes belly up at some point and it kind of blows
Yeah.
everything up. And we do perhaps end the story in a place where like maybe Valkyrie's the only one left, or something like
With
that.
powers?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I would love an ending to this entire story, because I've been thinking about that a lot, because I know obviously a lot of the talk around Ward has been that it's not as good as Worm, obviously. So in my mind, I'm like, well, the ending can't be that amazing, or people would probably love it. But we've talked about it. I need the Valkyrie ending where she gets all the shards back and just reforms Eden.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just becomes the
She
new.
becomes Eden and
The new
Cool.
entity,
or
yeah.
Scion, and just off to the next planet. And that's how
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I can see it. I can
that's
see
what I
it.
want. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any predictions, to be perfectly honest. Because it's felt so scattered puzzle piece wise, I really don't even know what to expect. I have absolutely no idea how this is gonna go. Like with Worm, you could kind of foresee like Zion going bad. Like he goes dark side. Like yeah, that I can see that happening. The golden man, yeah, okay, that could happen for sure. With this, I'm like, I don't fucking know what that looks like. Like I can guess, but like I guess potentially broken triggers to the absolute maximum of like tree people exploding power stuff everywhere. But if that happens, I don't know how to see an ending that
And then the cops just show up and arrest everybody.
It's
Just like
the
that's it.
space police. We've tracked a large, like you've got a
whale.
shard
The
infestation.
whales.
Yeah.
We've got a spray for that,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
and it's just Galactus with a little spray wand spraying the planet. Don't worry, it'll permeate through all dimensions. It'll all be gone. It's a systemic. It'll those shards will be gone in 6 months.
Exactly.
Wild.
All right. Well, with Arc 15 wrapped up, that means in 2 weeks,
Oh my
if
gosh.
Arc 16, we will be reading Arc 16 From Within. We'll be reading 16.1 to 16.7.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
that going to be on the 11th of May?
I believe so.
That would
Yep.
be the 11th of May. Yes.
Most excellent.
May 11th, 16.1 through 16.7.
Beautiful.
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm prepared to cry a lot for Kinsey.
Always.
Where to
Mm.
cry.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
and for our bingo sheets,
Yes, bingos.
we had Cat on Screen, Moral Debate on Plan ABC, Alan Rants, Off-Screen Deaths Are Bullshit, Squick from Spawner, and Boring Interludes. What we did not have was Nick going full parent, mostly because he was disappeared from
I kind of did it at the
Very
beginning,
close.
to be
Or
fair.
the
too.
parents,
I was
yes,
with my
yes, yes.
kids at the
the parents,
beginning.
but they
so.
didn't know that. The is
Yeah.
teacher right debate. Jacob is a Saint stan. Jacob is a cinephile. Nick is a teacher stan. Someone doesn't understand what's happening. Hannah cries. Someone misses the Dark Knight Rises reference. Milk and one big yawn.
Wait, what Dark Knight Rises reference? I did
Dark
say
Knight
at one
Darkness
point
is
he's like
my
a
ally.
dog chasing cars.
That too.
That's the Dark
That's
Knight,
true.
first off.
No problem. It's the
Dark
Bane
Knight
reference.
Rises.
Oh, the Dark
Is-
Knight Rises. I thought you
is-
said the Dark Knight reference.
The Dark Knight Rises reference.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it's when she's down in Gru's thing and she goes, "The darkness is my ally." And he goes, "That's a terrible line." It's because, the darkness is your
Okay, yeah.
ally.
I did think about that. I thought it was kind of obvious, but yeah,
Yeah.
I did think about it. I
It's-
just didn't bring it
And
up.
I
I guess ironically, we'd mentioned Bane earlier in the podcast.
yes, we did. I was like, "Oh, y'all already
Right
prepped."
time.
Yeah. You guys were in the middle of cooking about something else, so I didn't want to interrupt and point it out.
Michael, you
Fair
gotta
enough,
always interrupt us every time.
It's
Yeah,
hard
I
to.
didn't get a bingo either. I was so close. But next week,
Next
I'm
time.
sure we have lots of
Get 'em
stuff. I would love to hear your bingos. Please guesses for next week as to what the hosts will be doing or saying or thinking. Appreciate y'all so much being here,
The best.
talking us through this. We have done some Patreon content. It will be coming out at some point in time.
And Jacob's
we'll
PowerPoint now
continue
too. That'll happen.
and Jacob's
Yeah, we'll add
PowerPoint,
it-
which
add
is
it to the list.
required.
Yeah.
Jacob, I think you
We'll
could
do
do that. I think you also need to do your movie bingo, the plot hole bingo again.
Oh yeah.
Number
Should be
one,
done.
because great Patreon content. Number two, because I've already forgotten.
He's already forgotten the
Add it to
lessons.
the list. We'll do it.
Also, I
You
like
know?
what Fran just put in chat. Here's my ending. Everyone's dead. We zoom out. We reveal Taylor is reading a comic book. She puts it down and looks at Greg. She says, "You suck at writing, dude."
Hell yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
I love it.
Amazing.
Greg is devastated.
Bravo,
He
Fran.
triggers.
There you go.
I love it.
The loop
Oh.
begins. Ah,
You guys are the
You gotta
best.
Check your urethra for bugs too.
Around.
Oh, Nick, no.
no.
Come on.
Nick, I had forgotten. I need to bring it back up.
No. I'm going to play a song. You ready?
I'm
Oh
ready.
my gosh, what song?
Song.
Join the Patreon, please come on and join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Become supporters and join the Patreon. Please help us and join the Patreon. We have fun, join the Patreon. It's great, yeah, join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come on, come on.
Daddy likes his fans, but Daddy loves his patrons.
Hey.
Ayo.
We appreciate all you patrons and chatters. We'll see you on the 11th with Arc 16, 1 through 7.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for all the fun chats tonight and participating. Y'all the best. Bye.
Yeah.